Welcome along to the Gfinity second week of the Elite Series. I tell you what, West London is buzzing because of something called Wimbledon, but forget about Federer because this is all about the Gfinity Elite Series. 8 professional teams taking part in 3 massive esports games. We've got rookies, we've got rivalries, we've got brilliant gameplay. And you know what? Today is all about the Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Last week was good, but this week is going to be even better. It is fair to say that the Elite Series arena is looking absolutely stunning. We've got a full day of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, one of the biggest games in the world.
You give him an inch and he'll take a mile. This is ridiculous, a hat-trick comes out of nowhere. They've got too much firepower to handle. Clear than this could be so deadly as they are very effective up close and personal. That's a 4K ace. Heroic play to lock it down. Great stuff on display. That's as good as it gets as they lock it down.
So here we are then, week 2 of the Elite Series, CSGO. Now joining me on my panel, a lovely little desk, the return of SEO, welcome back.
Feels good to be back.
Thank you very much. And the debut for Thorin. Excited to have you on the desk. I've heard many a good thing about you,
I've
sir.
done many Gfinities before. I know this is your first, so I'll break you in easily.
Thank you very much. And I told you were going to be very gentle with me, so that's
That was a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah,
okay.
They just set you up on that one, man.
Okay, beautiful. Well, listen, everyone's looking very smart today. I upped my game, wore a shirt for this, because week 2, a lot to expect, and some fantastic gameplay is going to be in our midst today, right?
Certainly hope so.
What will you be looking for today, SEO? What will you be looking for compared to the week 1?
It'll be a lot more prepared, I feel, because obviously it's week 1, people are going to get the nerves out, you know, jitters, all that sort of stuff. So hopefully it'll be a bit more like calm and reserved play.
Yeah. I mean, obviously your debut to this week 2.
Yes, indeed.
But I mean, we can look at the standings in a second. I mean, what did you notice from the gameplay last week? I mean, who are you excited to see this week?
Well, I mean, obviously the storyline for all the UK teams is what can they do against the international teams, you know, because some of those players have experience. We've seen them in big tournaments before, whereas the UK teams don't tend to go abroad as often. So I think even playing in a stage environment, playing kind of official matches that aren't just online games is a big step up for some of these guys. So I think we had an interesting result last week where they were able to steal a map. That's pretty big, I think. So I think, yeah, for me, it's more like the measuring stick. Where are the UK teams at in the tournament, you know, and how many of them have a chance to go to the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, this is the standings at the moment. Prophecy at top with 3 points, and then Team EnVyUs. And then right down at the bottom, EnVyUs and Endpoint. They sort of came, there were moments, there were fleeting moments. I remember the match with EnVyUs, fleeting moments where they could have got back into it, but it just didn't quite deliver last week.
Yeah, it was quite disappointing. I expected more from Endpoint, obviously, as I did used to play for them. I expected a lot more, but they actually are facing each other today.
Yeah.
Someone has to win.
Someone has to get a point.
There will be points offered up. Do you feel like Endpoint were missing you a little bit, SEO, to put you on the spot? Would you have done much different?
Couldn't have done much worse.
Never a truer word said. So that one is a matchup to look forward to today. Obviously, we're looking forward to seeing those teams sort of maybe separate a little bit. There's such good players, such good teams, the Europeans. You know, can any of those UK teams step up, do you reckon, today?
I mean, it's been a mixed bag. Like, you wouldn't necessarily think that EnVyUs would be one of the teams that would be at the very bottom. You know, you think they should be in with a shout out of the UK teams. I mean, the Reason lineup, in theory, has a lot of history to it. Hasn't perhaps done as well at the moment. There's still some good players out there. There's Webbers out there, etc.
Yeah.
We've got some talent, but I think it's more, like I said, a lot of them don't have kind of the routine of playing the big tournaments, playing the matches, and obviously this is a league format anyway, so you've got to kind of work your way into it, and hopefully whatever problems there were in the first day, not today.
Well, I'm looking forward to going into depth with the detail of CSGO, but if you are new to it, then this is a quick little guide for you. In the regular season, all 8 teams will play each other once, with the top 4 teams progressing to the playoffs. Each match will be the best of 2, with the teams swapping home and away after the first map. If a team wins 1 map, they will receive 1 point. If a team wins 2 maps, they will receive 3 points. Teams will use the veto system to determine map selection. There is a maximum of 30 rounds, the start money is $800, and the side selection will be decided by a knife round. So there you go, that should help everybody who's new to CSGO. It was really exciting last week, wasn't it? I mean, some of those really close, tense matches that were 1-1 ended in a draw, but they were thrilling though, weren't they?
Definitely. I didn't expect Reason, actually, to pick up a map against Epsilon. I was bigging them up all day, and then, you know, they didn't show up.
Did they prove to be reasonable?
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Start off with
starting
top raw material.
It can either go one way, upwards or downwards from this point. Obviously, EnVyUs were looking very strong against EnVyUs. Even EnVyUs team motivator, I'd call him, Neil, couldn't get them to perform better. But I mean, what can we expect from EnVyUs this week? They're a very strong side.
I still expect them to do 0 Reason, depending on, like, so Cobble actually wasn't EnVy's pick last week, and that's actually Reason's best map. So if they, tempt fate, as in, like, maybe the ego gets in the way, they might just play it again. It could be an issue, but I don't think it will be. I still think EnVy should be able to.
And they're taking on they're taking on Reason today, and then our second matchup is Method Epsilon, and as you guys said, EnVyUs take on Endpoint. Someone will be getting a point. Maybe both of them will be getting that point today. And what do you reckon about that last matchup today, Excel versus Prophecy? I mean, I can't show bias towards a team that's got a family member on with Excel, but
I think I already know the result already. In that case,
there is. Come on, it is all fair and above board. Which match are you looking forward to most, guys?
I think the Prophecy one will be interesting because I don't really know what to expect from that other team. I think that's like a really wild card match. Probably Prophecy themselves don't know. With a couple of players we know in that team already. What was the second match? The Method one? I think that was not bad because in theory they're supposed to be the best of the UK teams. So you'd hope that this is a match that there's at least a chance to win. Maybe get some 3 points at this point in time. We want to see them in the playoffs at some time.
I want to put you guys on the spot because you're the experts. I mean, what did we see last week that we really don't want to see again? Any of the gameplay that they were doing, or the?
We're not going to list specific teams.
No, if you want, Thorin, I know you won't hold back, and that's what I want from you, and that's what people watch.
Well, I don't want to see the teams that turned up and just got smashed last week. That's unacceptable. You've got to at least be able to compete, especially in this format where you're going to get to pick a map. You've got to know which map you can pick that. Whether you win it or not, you've got a chance to at least compete on it. It's the right map to pick against the opponents. I think that's also another factor that as the weeks go on, you'll see in this league is that because of the unique format by which you pick the maps, I think a lot of these teams, there's not that much you can research on them necessarily. You can't necessarily know which maps they're second or third best, so people will feel each other out as they see the results coming through the official matches here, and then hopefully the lower level teams can kind of guide their way through that veto a little bit better.
I mean, if you choose a map and you don't perform, and you don't get your sight lines right, you don't get your tactics, and executing certain plays, I mean, then it's really, you're not going to go far in the tournament, are you?
Yeah, there's going to be something I was going to bring up. Like, most of the teams last week, they lost their map of choice, which you can't, you've chose them. If you decided to pick them up, you shouldn't really be losing it in such a fashion. Like, EnVyUs, for example, they lost 16-9 on their map. It's like, you shouldn't be losing quite heavily on that.
Shouldn't be happening. Well, listen, EnVyUs are looking very strong for our first matchup today. Yasmin Evans will be peeking behind the curtain of the professional competition today, and Yasmin is with the EnVyUs coach. Yasmin, morning.
Okay, I've stepped outside the Gfinity arena. I'm here with Neil Sky from EnVyUs. How you doing?
Fine, really fine.
Okay, so great week last week. Back again. I feel the confidence from you.
Yeah. I think we definitely started the competition really well, and we are looking forward to just keep the series going on.
A lot of people that I've spoke to have all said that EnVy are the team that they are most looking forward to seeing and also the biggest threat. Would you agree?
I think, yeah, we are definitely a contender to the title, but we don't have to underestimate teams like Epsilon, who are also very big team in the championship.
Yeah. How are you finding the live environment rather than sort of different to when you're practicing or online even?
I mean, we are getting used to all the players are playing since several years in LAN and making big competition, big stages, and they are getting used to this environment pretty well.
Okay, so first on set tonight, you're up against Reason. How much of a threat do they pose to you? Or not really, maybe?
To be honest, it's not a real threat, but we don't have to underestimate them, because that's the problem when you underestimate opposing team. You already have that problem that you can do bad things and just don't play your games. That's where we're up to. Just play our games, keep focused, and everything should be fine.
Okay, so last week we did have a few players that were actually losing focus from the beginning. How strong are you feeling that EnVy are going to be today?
They're really looking strong, and we're definitely looking for the 2-0 win. But just we don't have to release that focus. We have it actually. We will have it at the beginning. We just have to keep it during all the game.
Okay, so Neil Sky, thank you very much. He's focused, he's ready. Let's have a look at this game.
Thank you very much, Yasmin. A couple of words there used, focus, and also the phrase no threat from reason. That's what I picked up on. What did you pick up from there?
I mean, I think that's a reasonable kind of expectation to have if you're EnVyUs, because they're just thinking to themselves, if we play to our own level and what we expect, and it's kind of the day-to-day EnVyUs, we should be able to win the game. So I think that's why they don't just say no threat and, it'll be an easy game. They realise they've got to play to the level they're expected to. I think Reason even themselves know it's a bit of an underdog challenge here. They've got to kind of really punch above their weight, probably.
Yeah, I mean, the Reason managed to get that draw last week against Epsilon. I personally wasn't seeing that to happen, but it did, So there is a chance they can potentially get a draw, maybe even go on to win it.
It's always possible. It was but I didn't expect that Cobble result. They lost their pick as well, so you'd think they'd go back and resolve that, and then they've got 2 maps they comfortably can just play every time. Yeah. That's the thing as well, because Envy, they faced the 2 big dogs first 2 weeks, technically, which is probably best to get them out of the way first if you're thinking yourself as a underachiever or something. Yeah. But if you got them at the end of the season, it's completely opposite, isn't it, really? Well,
one of the players that's going to definitely help them today, the MVP, it goes by the name of Jax. Even though Haji was incredible, got that ace at one point, I know that we were tweeting it so much for the hashtag Elite Series. It was incredible, but Jax, I mean, the stats don't lie. He had a great game last week.
Yeah, he really shocked it, to be honest, because I expected Haji to do quite well, but then Jax, he's the lurker of the team, he's the opposite side of the map. It's similar to how Happy does with the main team. Other side of the map on his own, and they do a 4-1 split. To get 44 kills in that situation, it kind of shows his team were doing the correct thing as well. You can't just get all the stats and everything and stat pad on your own. You need your team to do something as well, and he did that exactly.
But just to explain for everybody who's new to it, that the EK, that's sort of the entry kill. I mean, how important is that stat, just for example, just to throw out there? Is it important, or does it just show how on form Jax was last week?
I mean, I'm not sure. Is it actually counted purely for just when you're on the T side in this stat?
I'm not sure.
That's the thing. Yeah, sometimes they'll count if you're on the CT side and you get the first kill. So those ones are not as impactful. But if you are actually someone who's getting the entry kill, especially if he's playing as the lurker, then that suggests he's at least using a pressure lurk. He actually puts pressure on the other side of the map. He doesn't just sit on like Happy in the main EnVyUs team and just wait for people to come to him. So yeah, very good stat if you are a lurker indeed.
I mean, obviously, looking at those stats, which one is the one that sort of you look for to know whether someone has done their job and performed better than they expected? Is it the elite rating, a combination of all those things, or or do you look at the headshots? What would you look at?
Usually the stat I like the most is ADR, because I mean that just shows what are you getting done every round, even when you win or lose the round. But as you say, you have to put it in the context, as SEO did, of what the role is. So for example, if you are the lurker and you're someone who's off away from the main group, and potentially sometimes if no one's rotating through your area, you might not face someone in a round. So the idea that you're getting almost 100 ADR over a whole game shows you're getting a lot of action, you're making absolutely the most of your circumstances, usually not with the rest of the group as well, so you're probably on your own in certain situations, so that in the context of the job he does, the role he does, that probably suggests he actually maybe performed above and beyond what we should expect in the matches today.
Well, I'm looking forward to him performing today. So the selection of the maps can be all important in how the match plays out. If you're new to the process, here is a brief explainer. The home team will initially be decided by a toss of a coin, and that team will have the first map veto. The away team will veto the second map. The process then repeats for the next 2 vetoes. After that, the home team will pick the first map. The away team will pick the second map, and the remaining map is discarded. So there you go, there's your little explainer. Brings everybody up to speed. That's what this is all about, the Gfinity Elite Series. Maps, let's talk about maps, because this can change the tactics, like you were saying about the most valuable player last week, Jax and Haji. So which maps do you reckon EnVyUs will try and avoid, and which maps do you reckon that Reason will try and think that they've got a chance in?
So last week, I actually noted that it was 4 individual maps that were vetoed. From both teams, they vetoed 4 different ones. Okay. Which means you could get the exact same veto as last week, technically. Yeah. But the one thing you'd point out is Cobble. That's the one that Envy might be watching out for. Last week they picked it, and Reason didn't pick it and stomped Epsilon on it. Gotcha. So they might need to avoid it just to be wary, focus, don't want to give them a chance in.
And Thorin, how much do the maps really matter? Can they not just, if they're thrown into the mix and they have to just perform, surely as a team they can chat, communicate, and then deliver?
It depends how good you are. Like, if you are the guys from EnVyUs, yes, perhaps you can go even on one of your weaker maps, and even the best map, you might still win anyway. You might be so good, but you'd win in spite of the map in that scenario. You'd just win because of the skill level of your team, because of the overall style, perhaps. But especially in Counter-Strike, because of the style of play that different teams have and what the personnel is, who are your star players, what role do they play? For example, if your Lurker's a star player, you're not necessarily going to want to play a map like Cash. It's a skill map, it's kind of just an aim map. You might want to play something like a Cobblestone, you might want to play an Overpass, you know. So it's very dependent, usually on the style of the team, and then I usually think of the fact that even if a team can win, like say EnVyUs could win on Cobblestone, it's not their best map, so they're going to win just because of how good a team they are. So that's kind of the key distinction I think we've got to make.
Okay, well, a man, we're all looking very smart right now, but a man who always looks absolutely dapper, beautiful hair, beard is always in trim. He was a caster last week. He's going to be doing that again for us. Jackie, what's going on backstage?
Cheers, Tom. It's all popping off backstage. There is ruckus all over the place, and we have two fabulous players down here. VKL from EnVyUs and, of course, Cray from Reason, and they're going to be working out what they want to do with the veto. Obviously, EnVyUs were able to win the coin toss, but Cray and Reason are going to be the home team for this matchup. So why don't we see how the veto is going to boil down?
We'll bring that back in.
Toss the coin.
Oh, hello. Waiting for the old coin toss.
Come on, it's live. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. So what's going through their heads at the moment? They've already got it memorized, which maps they want to veto?
Yeah, so they should have that predetermined from maybe a few nights back. They'd be thinking, we need to get rid of this, this, this. And then, so you see train ban, that's actually not, they didn't veto that last week, which is kind of different. But we don't know what Reason will go for there.
So train was, I know I heard it.
And is train
EnVyUs have banned
particularly
train.
weak for Reason?
I'm not really sure. They haven't played it in the past. It's just been there, but not, not played, not vetoed.
Okay.
So it could just be an envy situation where they don't want to play it at all.
Certainly.
There's not much chat, though, is there, between the two teams?
No.
And
So
Reason...
Reason...
This is a bizarre one. So
Yeah,
Reason bans
picked
Overpass.
Last week they picked it, now they vetoed
And also,
it.
I think EnVyUs actually doesn't play Overpass. So
No.
that's kind of a bizarre ban in that scenario. I mean, that might be kind of what we were talking about before, though. If you think you're playing a better team who might be able to win on any map, just take out a map that, for whatever reason, you don't want to play because you don't want to risk it in that sense.
So it is actually Cobble and Inferno. So they've Envy have picked Cobble, despite Reason beating Epsilon on it.
Okay.
Is that just them challenging them? Just purely out of skill?
Yeah, I mean, these don't look like the best maps for EnVyUs necessarily. So I think that's very bold.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to rely on skill a bit. I know they're comfortable on Inferno. Like, we played them in practice and stuff when I was part of Endpoint, but you have to be wary.
Yeah. But could there be a tactic they're using where they want to try these maps now in the early part of the tournament, and then there'll be a bit more practice in a live audience later on?
I do think it makes a lot of sense to try out maps that you might want to include later or speciality pick against, in theory, the weaker teams. Like, you can get away with a little bit more there, and because of the fact you're expected to win, if it's a tough game, if they win, you kind of get a sense that, right, let's just knock that on the head and we don't go in that direction against the better teams. So there might be some gamesmanship in that sense, or trying to throw someone off for next week. So they're going to think, oh, actually, they're pretty good on this map, but you never had any intention of playing it. I think if you're someone like EnVyUs, you can kind of look to the long term, and you're thinking you're going to win the league. So you want to set that up, set up the campaign to get there.
Get that stage time. I'll tell you what, Jackie can get us a bit more of a reaction backstage.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, we've got the vetoes done and dusted, but now I'm joined by the wonderful Cray. How do you feel things boiled down there? Are you happy with how this has gone?
Yeah, exactly how we wanted it to. Veto was good, so we're confident.
So pretty good for Reason. Everyone's feeling bubbly. Obviously, you seemed riled last night. Everyone looks pumped to go. Are you feeling like this is potentially going to be a 1-1 or a 2-0 to you?
2-0 if things pan out. If we play like we did last week on the Cobble against Epsilon, it would definitely be 2-0.
Cray feeling strong. Everyone on Reason seeming quite energetic for the games, but let's see if that's how it's going to boil down today's matchup.
Yes, indeed. We will see how it boils down. Cray looked fairly confident there. He reckons I feel like he would have been shooting himself in the foot, not literally, but saying 1-0. But he wants that 2-0 win, doesn't he?
I think he might have said confident words. He didn't look that confident to me. He looked like he just said out loud.
But that's you, Thorn. You can look in someone's soul.
I can. That's the
you
problem.
know.
I read the souls. That's the thing.
Is there that chance of that 2-0? Can we see it? If I was to get your predictions today, gentlemen, would you be saying 2-0 to Reason?
I'd argue maybe a 1-1, but that's purely because Envy played both of these maps last week, and they might have found something that they can exploit from both maps. Like, obviously, they're strong in Cobble. They can be fine with that. But then Inferno is, that's Envy's other priority map in my mind. So I'm not really sure about it, but it could be a 1-1, but I'm still saying 2-0.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to the cobblestone game, really. Otherwise, like, it's almost certain that EnVy's going to get one map. Really, the question is, are they good enough that actually they're just going to go ahead and win the other person's pick as well? In that scenario, yeah, I think we could very much see a 2-0 for EnVyUs.
Perfect. Well, listen, the maps are Cobble and Inferno. We are looking forward to it. We're going to have a quick break right now. We'll come back and have more analysis before the big matchup. See you in a second.
Why does it...
Welcome back. We start today with an absolute cracker, and two of the standout teams from last weekend, the EnVyUs Academy, decimated the challenge of the EnVyUs and put down a marker for the rest of the competition. Team Reason took on Epsilon All-Stars and defied the odds to record a draw for one map victory each. Now, the Reason challenge was fronted by Cinder last Saturday, who dominated his vaunted opposition. We caught up with him in Dublin this week.
I've been playing Counter-Strike for as long as I remember. It's probably around 15 years. It was our first family laptop, so it wasn't the best performance, but it got me into the game. Playing and playing and playing, it got more into it, and I see better people. I was starting to watch professionals play, and it was very interesting. And that's the first time I actually bought Steam and started playing pre-CWs and proper CS. Actually looked like a real sport, and it was like, I want to do this. You can't play games all day without your parents supporting you, because that's just impossible. They're very proud of me, and I hope I can make them proud in the future. Taking a map off Epsilon obviously is a big thing for us. Although we did go in confident, but we had our confidence crushed on map 1.
16-2, absolute dominance coming out from Epsilon. Now they move on to Cobble, and Reason just are unable to stand up to them.
Went in strong map 2.
Versus 2, great position. He finds the first headshot, comes in, didn't even need the headshot, but he finds it anyway. Now Freddy be the last man alive. Cinder could find it, and he will!
We got that opening rounds, we got our confidence back.
Cinder comes in, and Reason Gaming, they're going to take the pistol straight off the mark here.
And from there it was like, they couldn't stop us.
Cinder every time in that drop zone.
I mean, the feeling was amazing.
Headshot after headshot after headshot. That man is insane. He's crazy.
Once you kind of start going into that mentality where you just can face and take their heads off, you're not going to just stop.
Already in position, looking for the ace. He wants it. He's going to take it. Smooth, the last man alive. All he has to do is shoot him.
CS is all about confidence, and when you're confident, you keep your confidence and you keep getting them headshots.
A very, very nice game there from Reason Gaming.
I know people underestimate us a lot, because these players who I play with, they're not big names in the UK. They haven't been big names in the UK. I feel like this is giving them a lot, like big opportunities. My ultimate dream CSGO is to bring the UK scene and maybe the Irish scene back to the radar of top level CSGO.
The Latvian legend that is Cinder, living in Dublin. Riddle me that. But anyway, nonetheless, he was saying about when you're confident, you start playing confident. That's very true of any CSGO player, right?
It is. I think that's just a player's mentality, though, because obviously a player can't necessarily control how he plays, but you can control your attitude, etc. I always think it goes the other way, personally. I think what happens is if you're playing really well, you feel confident, you feel like you're in control of your game, everything's hitting, and so I think it's actually the other way around, but that's something for coaches to decide. Players don't have to necessarily agree.
Yeah. What about yourself, Essie? I mean, Cinder, a dangerous player that EnVyUs are going to have to be wary of.
Yeah, definitely. That game on Cobble last week was actually incredible. It was similar to Haji. Like, those Cobble, both games had somebody stand out like by so far. It's crazy, really. Like, they've also got a lot of players who haven't actually showed up. Like, Thomas was right behind Cinder in that game, and so was Cray. But we didn't actually mention those. But Cinder was insane. Like, you see the stats, 38 kills. Similar to Jax, obviously, who had 44.
Yeah.
And you consider they had a 16-2 loss, and he has those stats. Yeah. Which...
And again, the ADR very good in a loss,
exactly.
So kind of shows he's doing his job. He at least pulled his weight to some degree.
Yeah, of course. What I like is also about Thomas, but very confident going into that. They reckon they could contain EnVyUs, or Epsilon, sorry, last week. But the thing is, when they lost on Overpass, they got slapped. There's no other word for it. 16-2. Yeah. Surely their confidence had been knocked, but actually they turned it around and they won 16-6 on Cobblestone, which they didn't pick as a map.
I mean, that's just the way Counter-Strike is. Like, usually you get kind of that mental reset between the maps, you know, there's not as much carryover, and especially because if you're going into your map at that point in time, they've had their map pick, you're already thinking to yourself, they might win theirs, we might win ours. So I think it's more just the psychology of the teams. And so it's today's game you really want to see, because actually, yes, obviously Epsilon, they have like the odd player who at one point in time has been at a top international level. And so you expect those guys to have a little bit of an edge in that respect.
I mean, the Reason team, what weapons have they got? They've got Thomas, they've got Cinder, but who else on that team can really sort of hopefully give them an extra edge against EnVyUs? Well,
I mentioned Cray. Like, he's been actually standing out like the last 2 or 3 months. He's been a standout performer for them. Like,
what role does he play?
He's just a rifler. Like, they haven't actually got a designated like AWP in that team either. It's very situational. Like, you know, Karma picks up the AWP, Cinder does sometimes, Thomas does. It's very odd in a way, because obviously you usually have one guy just AWPing, but they just don't. But Cray, like, he on Overpass last week, he was actually doing perfectly fine. But obviously his team went.
And would it be reasonable to say that Hoodlum is basically like the low-bragging in-game leader?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
He seems a very sort of reserved, calm guy, Hoodlum. Does that sort of emanate to the other players? His sort of style of being calm and pretty relaxed?
I think that's just usually the way a lot of in-game leaders are. Like, the thing about an in-game leader is they don't get attached to the highs and the lows like a player does. They're thinking about, did they get the kill? Did I do it right last round? An in-game leader's always thinking to himself, right, those results will figure themselves out. What am I going to do next? Like, what adjustment do I need to make? So that's a very kind of cold, rational approach to the game. You know, it's not so much riding the wave of the emotion. Usually you want, like, your star player to be the guy who's the very hyped up guy, the very confident guy.
So the first map we are likely to see today, Reason will be getting in their head how they're going to play it. They picked Inferno that they want.
That's actually what we've learned, is that apparently the graphic was flipped the other way around. So as we said, it was kind of surprising those bits. It's the other way around. It's actually Reasons on Cobble and EnVyUs are the ones who are
And that doesn't surprise me at all.
No, that's
because Cobblestone, they won 16-6.
Likewise, the fact that really gave it away, actually, is also the vetoes made no sense. Like, why would Overpass be vetoed by Reason themselves when obviously that's a map that they would want to play? So we've now corrected it. It's okay. A few little technical gremlins out there.
Yeah.
Don't feed them any water.
No. We'll try and eradicate those little gremlins as best we can.
We're not talking about Reason, though.
No, of course.
Just making sure,
So
EnVyUs will take care of that for us.
So that map, what can we expect then for Reason with Cobblestone? What will they try and do that they did last week?
They just need to stay calm, really, and just play their own game. Like, don't think of it as if, if we don't get going, we're going to lose this game 100%. Just play how you're going to do it the whole way and just stick to it.
Yeah. Now, there's a man that dominates literally size. His name is Herald. He's over there in the casting area. He's joined by another debutant, Banks. Gentlemen, what do you make of those maps then? I like the fact you're both standing up. You're very serious.
We're ready and waiting for this, Tom. And to be honest, I'm just really looking forward to see how these maps play out because I think Reason have got a good chance here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, compared to last week where we looked at EnVyUs as this absolutely dominant team and they were playing absolutely dominant, Reason have shown that they can put up a fight. And especially on Cobble, they really do have an opportunity to go forward, do a bit of damage and get something done. Just on the topic of size, we've actually got a much better match here this week. Last week, of course, with Tom, it was like, you know, Snow White and just the one dwarf. But now, we're back on top. Back on top.
So Cobble, the way forward for this for me is the fact that Reason now got the confidence. They could turn this into the game going all their way, completely their favour if they need to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cobblestone is the one map where if they want to get a good start into this game, this is where they have to do it. You have to have Cinder popping off. He has to go huge. And then once Cinder starts popping off, you've got Thomas there on the AWP. Try and do a little bit more damage. Try and really put it to EnVyUs. Just say, right, this is our map. We know what we're doing. We're going to do exactly what we want, and you're going to deal with that. You know, so really, it's down to EnVyUs now. They've seen Reason Gaming play this map. They've seen how they play. They've seen what they do. EnVyUs have to come into this absolutely swinging and say, sorry, boys, we're not going to give you this. We're the better team. We're going to smash you. In theory, this should still be a 2-0 to EnVyUs, in my opinion. Yeah. That's what I think. But there is absolutely the opportunity here for Reason to take themselves a map, if not two.
It really depends on how Reason play. They can't play scared into this. They've got to, like you said, come out all guns blazing, fight for their right to take this on. And this is the chance they wanted. The vetoes went towards their favour. This is the best opportunity they're going to have to be able to take down EnVyUs. Oh,
absolutely. Yeah, this is the only chance, really. And especially going forward into the league, you know, you've got quite a few weeks left, but this is one of those really important games. If Reason Gaming can take even a draw in this, they will be so happy points-wise. And just going, you know, forward into the series, this gives them a great basis to start off. Get rid of that difficult game. They've already played Epsilon, one of the top runners.
Yep.
They're already, you know, about to play EnVyUs. If they can do well here, the rest of this whole tournament for them is going to be a lot easier. So they can take a lot of pressure off their backs here. They've already done that last week by playing by playing Epsilon and taking the draw. That's the key point. Yeah. So again, they have that opportunity this week to come into this, do a bit of damage, show the rest of the league what they're made of, and you know, put a little bit of a standing going on. When you have teams that have come together and some of the players have been drafted and you've brought in different combinations of this, that, and the other, you have to be, you know, all of the teams are looking into it and going, we haven't got any demos to look at, we haven't got any of this, that, the other. You know, we've even got a team, Prophecy, who haven't played a single game as a team.
Exactly.
So Reason Gaming now, they're just saying, this is who we are, this is what we're going to do, you deal with it, we'll deal with you.
We always know that EnVyUs have managed to grab the knife round here as well. And this is what it boils down to for me, is the only thing EnVyUs could really mess up here is if they play too overconfident. They can't take Reason lightly. They should have watched the games from last week and had a better understanding of how this team's going to play out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, interesting one. EnVyUs winning the knife round and choosing to start on that T side. So I'm hoping they have a plan in place. They have something they want to do. And it looks like they're going to avoid that B-bomb site, which I think is a really very good idea. Stay away from that power player, that Cinder machine who is going to take you down. get a good start into it, knock down all of their confidence, and see what you can do. So it is going to be that A bomb site coming in. There's 4 players all stacked up towards long, and the real estate is all theirs. No one's going to try and stop them. No one's going to hold them back. This could get really dangerous, folks.
Yeah, and Lambert's walking around now. He's more towards B, causing the distraction a bit there. But so far for EnVyUs, they've been able to push up all the way, and they're unnoticed. At the beginning of the round, you saw Reason go pretty aggressive, but now they've fallen back into sight, holding on to positions, and this is really giving EnVyUs a lot of map control.
A lot of the time on this map, you'll see one player over towards B, but Reason Gaming, they're playing those 2 players. Maybe they have a bit of a read here. Maybe they have some idea as to what's going to be going on, because EnVyUs, they're walking into it. Hoodlum in a great position. If he can find himself 1 kill here, send out the alert. He's just looked away at exactly the wrong time, and that's going to give Jax the opportunity. A missed shot comes in, but this is the information game now. Falling back, Hoodlum going to allow his teammates to do the damage.
Yeah, smart decision there from Hoodlum. Falls back, and they do try to get onto this bomb site. Karma and Young Craig going off huge. 2 headshots coming straight away. It's looking good for Reason, and what a quick round. Explosive action there from Reason. They pick up the pistol round, and EnVyUs didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Sick frags coming in, and straight away, EnVyUs have nothing to play with. I mean, really, why they're not taking advantage of long there, I have no idea. Understandable they take underpass, but you have that long control. Use it. Split that attack. Otherwise, you've got 2 players, even 3 when that rotation comes in from Cinder. They're all looking at you. You have to come up this hill, and you have a disadvantage. You haven't got the advantage of going in and splitting, and you can take a bit of attention away. They didn't have that. So EnVyUs really a little bit sloppy there. They are going for the force buy, of course. No bomb plant coming in, looking to go over towards that B bomb site. That's where the bomb's playing from. But this is going to be really tricky for EnVyUs.
Yeah, EnVyUs definitely on the back foot here, but we know how strong these Deagles and Tech9s can be. Got 1 flash up on VKL, but really here, they're going to have to look for the picks, find someone from Reason, getting over-aggressive with them UMPs. If they can grab a couple of weapons, they can easily turn this around. But Reason straight away, picking up that pistol round, super confident. They're going to be feeling pretty good at this moment in time. But it is still early doors. And, well, Jax is going to find the first person. Does a little bit of damage, but not too much. The nade comes in towards him as well, but EnVyUs do manage to grab the first kill, as actually Cinderland, the heavy hitter for Reason's gone down early on. And this is how powerful these pistols can be.
Yeah, exactly. What they've done here is they've driven a wedge through the defense. Now, 4 versus 5. EnVyUs are in a great position, especially with those pistols. With these Tech9s, they can rush in, get in your face, do a little bit of damage, and that's what they're going to be going for here. With a bit of drop control, they can choose to go wherever they like, which means Reason Gaming have to play 2 to a site. They can't split up. They can't go for a risk or a gamble. It's going to be Karma up first, finds the headshot. Petiscal goes down, looks for the second and the third. He absolutely destroys them. Finally, Jax will take him down, but he's done the damage. That's a 3K in the bag for Karma, and he's making the impact he is needing to do.
Yeah, huge kills there for Karma. Managed to pick up 3 of them. They lined up for him nicely, giving the advantage back to Reason, but it's not over yet as Hoodlum finds VKL. Only Jax left. He will get a bomb plant. He does have an M4, but he's in a 1v3. It's going to be pretty difficult. He's listening around, spots out one, but he's not going to be able to do it. And Reason pick up the second round, and they managed to take a lot of weapons into that next game.
Yeah, insane round there coming through. The bomb plant really powerful for EnVyUs. Now going into the next round, they may even be able to force up again. Not a huge amount of money. If they save here, they will be able to pick up the AWP onto the 4th round, but a great round there from Karma. Absolutely dominating his opponents, crushing the attack. The spray down comes in perfect. He finds the first headshot. As he's spraying down, he finds the second headshot and the body shot. And those pistols just unable to overwhelm him. Of course, when you got pistols, you need to rush someone. You can't stand behind your teammate and try and do damage. You're just going to be shooting your friend. A little bit dangerous, a little bit sloppy coming in from EnVyUs, but it is a pistol round. They are going for that force up again. Now, this is a very, very risky move. If they lose this, they're putting themselves in a terrible position, but of course, they're on T side, so the economy is a lot easier to control. They just have to get it in their grasp. And EnVyUs, they need to start doing some damage. You can see Reason, they haven't got the read on this. They aren't expecting this force buy. Thomas only has a pistol here. 3 UMPs across the board. Thomas could be in serious trouble when they rush him here.
Yeah, he's been completely smoked out, and he's the first man to go down as the Tech9s come raining in. And EnVyUs executing onto this B-bomb site, looking really confident. Reason, they haven't managed to find anyone yet. The spray comes out, but Young Cray finds 2, but he's on low HP. He's got to be careful. Hoodlum comes in there with a kill from behind. Only 2 members left alive for EnVyUs. They've got to do what they can to hold it here. UMP and Tech9 being worked out, and the Tech9 doing all the damage there as Hoodlum's the last man alive, 16 health. And EnVyUs looking confident. They've just got to play it smart. Can Hoodlum pull this off? He's got a lot of utility to work with, but he's just sticking with that UMP. He's not trying to force any of the terrorists out of position. And finally, we see the incendiary going out, but he's going to fold. He's going to run away. He's not going to push for it, and that's going to give EnVyUs the round.
Yeah, I mean, straight away, like I say, it was a terrible read from Reason. They had no idea what was coming at them. They should have, understandably, they've said, right, they've got that bomb plant. They'll have enough money to go for the buy next round, get the AWP. So why would they buy here? But they've taken a massive risk there, especially with Thomas. He's a key player in that round. He has to play forward of those smokes and do some damage. He's only got a USP. You can't expect a man to do everything with a USP. That's not going to work at the end of the day. And it doesn't. That's very dangerous. And like you said, exactly like you said, Hoodlum, with all that utility, doing absolutely nothing with it. You expect an in-game leader to have very good sense of his utility, very good sense of what he's got to play with, the tools in his toolbox. And what he's done there is he's left the toolbox at the door and run in with a UMP and gone, this isn't working. He's thrown a tool at the roof, it's bounced off, and he said, why did it do that? It's a disaster.
It's great that he saved on like he's got the flashes, he's kept the smokes there. He's got a bit to work with in this round, but I almost think like he could have gone into that and had a chance. But we are at 2-1. EnVyUs did manage to pick up that last round. They now have a couple of AKs in hand, but EnVyUs now, they can wait for Reason Gaming to push out to them, wait for them to make the mistakes.
Yeah, so we actually saw a very, very similar round to this last week versus Epsilon, where they played over towards B. They actually won the round on a complete full eco, nothing but USPs. They managed to win the round, but it looks like EnVyUs may have a bit of a read. It's the first eco, it's the first round, they're not going to have any money. EnVyUs have said, right, what did they do last week when this happened? They've stacked A. EnVyUs have read that pretty nicely. They've all gone towards B, nice and slow. There's no need to rush it in this situation. You've got 2 minutes to play with it. And that's exactly what they're doing, moving towards that B-bomb site very slowly, very methodically, using the utility that they have. And you can see Hadji already cleared out the whole site. They know exactly what's going on here. And Reason have absolutely no response. Best thing to do here is save the money, hold on to the utility, hold on to the weapons, go into the next round with the same buy, and see what you can do there.
Yeah, the best thing that Reason can hope for now is just to try and grab a weapon, take something away from EnVyUs, but then themselves, they don't want to lose anything that they're holding on to. Envy walked in, played it smart, checked everything out, and they know that they made the right decision as the gamble for Reason didn't pay off. But they do have to be careful here, because he's waiting with a MAC-10. He's looking to claim some money, gets the first kill, gets a second as well. Can he make it free? Yes, he does. Pulls out the Glock, but it's not enough. But that money there, 3 kills of a MAC-10 is huge.
Yeah, that's insane money. That's a lot going into his bank account, and he should be pretty happy. So he should really be seeing the AWP come out here. There's a few players with good money. Lambert there, just going to farm up a little bit more cash, put it in his pocket, walk away, a happy boy. That's looking pretty good for EnVyUs. Now we should start to see some buy coming in. I don't think there's actually enough money on Reason to get anything substantial, so we should be seeing the full save coming in. Oh no, I've never said I'm a good mathematician. I've never sold myself as a maths man, and this is why. This is why.
Well, an AWP up on Thomas. Now, this is a pretty good buy to work with, but you've got to say that Reason here, they've got to make this work, because if they don't, and Thomas misses a shot like that with the AWP early on, it's going to give Envy a lot of information to the fact they are playing that AWP towards A. B will be a nicer option for him. And Envy, look at this, they're getting completely ready. Smokes, flashes, they have got this sorted. They're definitely going to be going for a B push here. It's all going to be up to Hoodlum to see if he can push it over. The call comes in, though. The CTs are straight rotating, but are they going to be fast enough?
Yeah, the push coming in through Drop. Hadji finally doing some damage. Cinder will go down with only 1 kill to his name. Lambert comes in, doubles up, and now it's a 2 versus 3. Make that 2 versus 3. I don't know, maths. I'm very bad at it. Thomas going to find himself a nice AWP kill coming in 2 versus 3 still, and nothing changing. Thomas and Cray have to do the work. The flank is coming in as Cray goes down. It's all on Thomas. AWP in hand. 1 versus 2 makes the first shot. Lambert goes down, and the bomb is out of the T's control. Can he find the second kill? Hadji needs to peek him, really, if there's any work here for Thomas. And the flank, like I said, is coming in. That's V-Kill coming in from behind. Probably shouldn't say that too loudly. Oh. There it is, V-Kill. Not going to waste any time. Just gets straight in there, does the damage. Thomas had absolutely no chance there. They timed it perfectly. There was nothing going right.
No, that was a smart decision from the EnVyUs guys. They waited, they didn't push into him. They know the bomb was down, but they had plenty of time to work with, come from behind to close out the round. And this is where EnVyUs start to get dangerous. They're building that momentum, they've got this confidence, and they're just pushing Reason around now. It got close, but it wasn't enough.
Still plenty of opportunity. It's only the 6th round, of course, but EnVyUs taking the early lead, and we haven't seen that killer impact we need from the drop zone. Cinder, he's going to have to do a lot more work if he's going to pull off a game like he had last time, and so far we're just not seeing it. Only kill comes in from Lambert, takes down Hoodlum, getting a bit aggressive over towards Long. But really, there's nothing going for Reason Gaming in this. I'm sure they're seeing the enemy, all the weapons they have. They're a bit envious of their enemy. And they've got good reason to be, let me tell you that.
Yeah, you've got Reason now, just waiting back, hoping that EnVy are going to push into them. They've got a nice setup here, but they don't have the weapons and the nades coming out. Cinderland dodging them. But it is looking good for Reason. I kind of like to see Karma try push out a bit now, because he is pushing further down A, and there is 2 terrorists there towards him. The rest of the action is taking place at B. The bomb is down towards B. And I like this from EnVyUs, though. They're not committing into this, not rushing to their death. They're not going to take a massive risk here. They're going to wait it out. They're going to play it smart. They know they just want to pick up round by round now and not give anything for the CTs to work with here. But Thomas in a good position. He can hear it all happening around him. The flash goes out. He gets one, but he can't get the second as a reply frag comes in. Cinderland has found Petit. He's now in a 3 versus 3. He's only managed to grab himself a Mac 10, which isn't a huge deal for the EnVyUs team to work with. Jax comes in with the kill onto Young Cray. Only 2 members left alive. Cinderlad's been boosted up, and they might not expect this. They might not expect to see 1 member coming all the way from behind. Karma with the deagle spots out 1, but he's not going to be ready for Hajime, waiting in the background. But Jax finds the kill. Cinderlad, the only man left alive, and he's sticking with that 5-7. Now, was he spotted there?
Yeah, I think he may have been. Lambert seems to have an idea. The boost is coming in to flank him, really. Cinder has no choice but to die or be died. I think the phrase is actually kill or be killed, but you know what? Either way, doesn't really make a difference. Cinder has very little chance. They know exactly where he is. There's absolutely no doubt there. Charging him down, Lambert needs to be a little bit careful, but he will. Takes him down with ease as the Tech-9 comes out, rips him apart. And Cinder goes down. Again, a little bit of impact coming in, but not stringing it together. It is a pistol round. Don't worry too much about it. You can see Cinder there, not looking his best. It's not been a great game for him so far. He's had a couple of nice little kills, but 3 to 5, sitting on the 7th round is not too good. But of course, there's no huge numbers across the board. No one is really coming out and shining and playing an incredible game. It's just a bit bog standard so far. Reason need to start having that superstar performance if they need, if they want any way into this game. They have to stop EnVyUs early.
And this is what we were saying. Cinderlad has to come off here with a big performance to start pulling up the rounds here for Reason. So far, it's not happened, and you can see it's just in the scoreline. EnVyUs, they're playing it calm, they're playing it cool, they're taking their time, and you're not seeing any crazy decisions come out from EnVy at all.
Yeah, no need to take a risk, really. They're just playing their game, and until Reason are able to do something to stop them playing their game, there's no reason EnVyUs won't. They've done a little bit of anti-stratting. They've obviously watched the demos. They know the odd strat, they know the odd thing that might be happening, and they're playing off the back of that. They know there were no set pieces whatsoever, but kills are coming in. I might as well wait. Hadji going to find himself the first kill onto Hoodlum. Karma playing in the castle. He has been spotted, and he's going to get absolutely nothing done as Jax cleans his head off his shoulders. Down to 3 versus 5. Make that 2 versus 5 as VKill takes down Cinder in the dropper, and nothing is going right for Reason Gaming. Thomas, the last man alive. He's about to go down from, he's heard VKill. He can't even find the shot. That is sloppy from Thomas, and it's not looking great. Now, what I was saying is, when we saw them last game against Epsilon, we didn't see a single set piece coming out from Epsilon. EnVyUs aren't going to make that same mistake. They're going to play their game. They're going to play slow, methodical, and do exactly what they need to do to win.
And you can see that from the way EnVyUs is approaching each round. You see them stick 3 towards B, 2 towards A. They're keeping it split. They're getting the information, and then they're making a decision off the back of it. They're seeing how they feel, what's going on here. And actually, they made the right decision that time, because the AWP was stuck towards the B bomb site. They stayed away from it. And actually, EnVy, they just didn't give them a chance to save anything. They went hunting, and it's paid off for them. We're now at a 5-2 scoreline. And once again, Reason, with only pistols in their hands, they've got their work cut out for them. EnVyUs, they're just looking very comfortable here on Cobble. And straight away, VKL.
Wasting absolutely no time whatsoever. VKL takes down Thomas. Of course, this is a pistol round. It's not the most impactful, it's not the most important, but if Reason Gaming want anything out of this series, they have to start this map off strong. We have no idea what their T-side's like. We haven't seen it. Reason Gaming have to play well on this map, and especially going into the next map. They're going to be on EnVyUs' pick. They're going to be in serious trouble. Anyway, the kills looking to come in now. VKill just wanting to farm, really. Does spot out Craig, takes his head off. Nice and easy. Waste no time. Patience is for the weak. Pettiscale is going to get dinked up. Backs off, keeping himself alive. Hoodlum goes down as well. It's just Farmsville for VKill. Lambert going to find himself one there on Cinder and the last man, Karma. All on his own, lonesome. He may be able to find a little bit of damage through onto Jax, but as long as Jax plays his game carefully. Armor just dancing around with him now. He does hear him. He hears the sound cues, but at the end of the day, he's not going to get a huge amount done. If Karma saves an AK, happy days. If not, not too much lost.
Yeah, that's the best thing Karma can hope for. Save that AK, take it through to the next round, help them with the economy. And oh, he has spotted out Jax. Will grab that, and you'll watch him take it and run away. If he does actually take the gun, that is. But it's going to be 6-2 in favor of EnVy. And Reason here, I'd even say, like, let's save up and go for a double AWP setup. Let's try something a bit crazy. Let's make sure that we put the pressure on EnVy wherever they go. Because at the moment, EnVy just have full map control from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I don't think the double AWP setup is what's going to work here. I think Reason Gaming need to play their game and play it properly, because right now what they're doing is that they're losing the economy battle, they're losing the odd frag here and there, and they're not playing their CT side. They're trying to throw things into the works. They're trying to throw a spanner at EnVyUs and saying, oh, we're going to change it. Oh, look. No, what they did last week worked. What they did last week was effective. Stick to it. You know it's going to work. Play your game. Because right now, Reason Gaming are struggling. We've got the AWP back on Thomas. We need to see some impact here. The only time we've seen him over towards B with that AWP, he's been taken down really easily, or they've gone A, or he's had a USP, or something has gone wrong. Let's see him do a bit of damage here. Let's see him have a bit of an impact. And Cinder, you need to wake up. This is the time you need to do some damage.
Oh, I like this. So they're getting him boosted up, but instantly, EnVyUs ready and waiting for it. He goes down, and this isn't the start that Reason wanted. And straight away, EnVyUs think, okay, we've got this. We knew there was another player around there. Let's see what we can do. Let's try burn him to a crisp. Young Cray, though, he's staying back. He's playing it smart, but instantly a one-man advantage for Reason. They're hoping, as you can see, the rest of EnVyUs now making their way towards A. They're hoping that Reason will be able to fall back a little bit and actually rotate someone to B, but they are keeping it steady at the moment. They're not risking anything else into this.
It should be a pretty quick push up towards A. Of course, two players playing very close. It's Karma and Hoodlum playing together in the stables, playing off each other. It's a close angle. The danger is they could both be taken down pretty easily. It looks like EnVyUs have a read on this. They're backing off. They're heading back towards the B bomb site with 45 seconds remaining. They need to get a bit of a hustle on. Of course, Thomas is still over there. He's backing off as well. This fake is going perfectly right now. Lambert going to get aggressive. He finds himself a kill. He shouldn't be allowed that kill. The flash goes through, does nothing to him. So Lambert finds himself a free kill. The B bomb site completely abandoned, and Reason Gaming are going to have to save. Abysmal performance this round.
Well, Thomas did think he was going for it. He took one shot, but they start to run away. EnVyUs, such an intelligent read. I was going to say, one thing we haven't noticed so far is, like, EnVyUs is their communication has been so solid. Look at the quick boost. Look at the reaction to everything the Reason's throwing at them. EnVyUs just playing stellar Counter-Strike on Cobble.
Yeah, and essentially they're just not making any mistakes, which is where Reason are going wrong. They're getting baited into these situations. They're reading very badly. And really, when you've got a team where you haven't got the biggest impact in-game leader, you know, Hoodlum, he needs to be thinking ahead. He needs to be using his brain, because his brawn isn't there. So we need to see Hoodlum thinking about this, saying, right, EnVyUs are doing this, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Do some kind of counter, or even just a basic setup. Sit 2 on A, sit 3 on B, and then don't rotate them all because there's a flash. Or don't see a boost and go, right, let's all run away, because that isn't going to work. They need to play their game right now.
Well, I know you said you didn't agree with the double AWP setup, but they managed to pick the one off of Lambert. Now let's see what they're able to play with here. How are they able to utilize this heavy firepower? And maybe they can actually push EnVyUs back a little bit and take some map control early on here.
Yeah, well, something needs to be done. I'd like to see a bit of a push coming in from Reason at this point. Maybe underpass, anywhere really. This isn't the biggest impact round, of course. Money-wise, this is important, but they haven't got a huge amount to play with. There is the UMP going on for Hoodlum now, so it gives them a little bit more of an advantage. But at the end of the day, EnVyUs have everything they could possibly want. Reason Gaming, they've put together a reasonably good buy, but they haven't got everything that they need. And if the pressure comes on, it's going to be EnVyUs prevailing just on the side of equipment. But they've got the buy in there at least. That save did allow them to get some weapons up, to get a bit of utility to play with. Could be an opening here for Thomas if VKL does give him it. Oh, but Thomas missing a shot, going down as well. Luckily, Karma's in there with the second AWP, but Jack already up the slope. Karma having some more impact. He's going to find himself a second kill, looking for the third onto Pettiskel, but Pettiskel, he doesn't care, takes down his teammate. Hoodlum falls. The bomb will fall back, but at a 3 versus 2, finally Reason Gaming have an opportunity. They have something to play for. Unfortunately, they're making those mistakes.
Karma came up
about
huge.
The simple things.
Karma coming up huge, 2 AWP kills, managing to push back EnVyUs, but now they're already rotating around. Cinder is in actually such a good position, but he's not going to spot it out. VKL gets the kill, and now it's a 1v2. This is something Karma can definitely do. He's got a flash and a smoke to work with as well. Oh, and he spots that one, but a smoke down just in front of him. He couldn't quite see it. Misses the second shot. He knows he's got to make this work. They're dancing around. And again, EnVyUs with a quick call. Let's get the boost on there. Smart play. And Karma hasn't spotted it out. They knew where he was. The kill comes in. And even when it looks good for Reason, EnVyUs still managed to find a way as you shake your head there.
This is the thing. It's not EnVyUs finding a way, not even slightly. It's Reason making stupid mistakes. You've got a 3 versus 2. You've got 2 people on A. Why is the third person going to A? Stay on B. It's a 3 versus 2. Come on, just use your brain. This is not rocket science. And Reason Gaming making silly mistakes, allowing themselves to be taken advantage of. This shouldn't be happening, especially when you get those 2 opening kills. If a player gets 2 kills and they're completely unanswered, play off it. Don't lose that, because that's exactly how Reason need to get back into this. They need to start playing their own game and not making these silly mistakes all the time.
And it's the communication for me as well. Like, if that was coming in, someone should have said, Hoodlum should have said, look, don't rotate round, let's wait for it. Thomas, though, starting off with an early kill there. VKL's gone down, but can they hold on to this one-man advantage? This is the thing. How are they going to react to this? Cinder's got the P90 in hand, and this is looking good. One's jumped down. Doesn't spot him through the smoke just yet. And oh, this angle is so close. He's got the read on it though, but can't find the kill. Spam comes through and Cinder still goes down. He didn't fire back despite having a lot more bullets in that P90. And he will go down. It evens back up.
But again, they're trying to take the attention away from the fact the play is going towards A. Hoodlum has to come in large here. He has got support, but he has to find this opening. He spots out Jax. Now get that call in, but he goes straight down. Hoodlum can't get anything done. Luckily, Karma is on point with that AWP. Can he do some more damage? He knows a player's moved through. You've just seen him. And again, it crumbles. Lambert, great shot to take down Karma, but it just is not good enough. With the one-man advantage, they lose it straight away. Fine, 4 versus 4. Still play your game. Crane out, trying to go in for this retake. If he can find a kill, they'll go for it. If not, they'll fall back. And Thomas, he knows there's a player in that drop zone. He knows he has to be careful. And again, Thomas forced to save. And I can only imagine that tensions are running pretty high at this moment. People are getting a little bit frustrated. You can see how seriously EnVyUs are taking this. They are not letting up. Despite the fact the score is about to be 9-2, and the round is over, they're on their screens. They're so intent. They're not giving anything to Reason Gaming. And essentially, Reason are crumbling under that.
And Karma there, though, for me, he should have been able to make them shots. He saw what was happening around him, and really, he should have put up more resistance. And even then, Thomas goes down, unable to save anything. And you've got to think, why were you just sat so far in the open? The round was closing out. Did you just expect to be left there? No challenge towards you at all?
After the first 2 rounds, I can only say that I'm surprised. I mean, look at EnVyUs. They're happy. They're having a great time. They're talking. It's exactly what you're saying. Communication is flowing right now for that EnVyUs side. And Reason Gaming have no response. 2 rounds now to 9. This is looking like EnVyUs taking themselves a 10th round. And Reason have no response. We're not seeing that impact coming. We're not seeing Thomas do work with the AWP. It's Karma who's having to wake up. And again, it's a fast round coming straight in. EnVyUs not wasting any time getting onto that B-bomb site.
Yeah, at this point, Reason, their heads are down, and they've just got to find a way of motivating themselves back into it. Can Thomas be the man? He gets through as he picks up the AK off the first kill, but he's instantly shut down. Yonkray finds one. He's still up and playing. They've got a one-man advantage with the weaponry still in the hands of EnVyUs. Reason just got to play this smart. They haven't got any utility to work with. They've got to rely on their aim. A nice shot comes in from Hoodlum. Deagle headshot onto Jax. Lambert, the only one left alive. And this looks like a convincing round for Reason. Lambert, the only man to do anything with it, but he's got no utility to work with. And they're making their way. They're going to sandwich him in. He's going to be stuck down here entirely. And look at Reason. They're not making any mistakes. They're not pushing out here. They know this is a round that they can grab. Lambert walking around, checking every single angle. He's got the AWP and, oh, he does spot out one. Oh, but he misses the first shot, and they're going to know exactly whereabouts he is now. He's looking for Karma, finds the first. Now, are they going to keep pushing him? They've got to be careful. He's even coming in with a reload of the AWP. He's playing for the long game. 40 seconds on the clock, though, and there's plenty for Lambert to work with. And I like this decision. He's still got time to run around.
I feel like this could be a bit of a ruse. We're not going to know, though. It is going towards that A-bomb site. This could have been so good from Reason if they'd been patient, if they'd waited it out. And now, Lambert, he's got an opportunity. Can he be the man he was born to be? Lambert and Butler. Is he going to be smoking hot, or is he going to be stubbed out by Reason's remaining players? He's going to be able to get this bomb plant down. There's, of course, Cray pretty close. Not sure if he heard that, but the call has come in. 6 seconds remain as the bomb goes down. 2 shots to find. Not the ideal weapon in a 1 versus 2 situation, but he can find the opening. Missed shot comes in. Now they know exactly where he is. They know where he's playing from. They're going to rush him down. They're going to try and use those pistols. Oh, 1 kill comes in, but it doesn't matter. Reason play their game. They relax. They take it easy. And what's interesting here is the first round we see EnVyUs go for a fast play. They get shut down. They get demolished.
By pistols.
But the thing is, the reason this isn't a good sign for Reason is, do you know what EnVyUs are going to do?
Reset.
Well, they're just not going to do that again, are they?
Yeah.
They're just not going to rush again. They're going to take it slow. They're going to reset the economy. And Reason are going to go, oh, so if they don't run at us, we can't kill them. So what do we do? Do we run at them? And then they get killed. And then they go, oh, we can't play. Really, this is EnVyUs just playing with them.
Yeah, Reason have to pick up this round now. If they manage to drop this one, obviously their money is completely messed up. They will be reset into this. And just to back off another round here, we're getting towards the end. We're already on round 13. And actually, Jack's starting off pretty aggressive. He's backed up by the rest of his team. It doesn't look like EnVyUs have learnt their lesson as Thomas picks up the first kill once again, this time with an M4 in hand. He's looking for the second one. EnVyUs trying to come round towards him, but he does go down. This time round, they're not able to hold the rush of EnVyUs. And this is Envy just saying, we're dominant. Oh, great play from Cinder. Just about enough time. Extinguishes the smoke grenade. Young Cray comes in with one. He's running around. They're spamming through the smoke. That smoke is so huge right now, keeping the EnVyUs players alive. 2 versus 3. The molly goes down, and now he's given them a little bit less room to work with. But Hadge, he's coming round. He's behind all of them. He finds the first, looks for the second, but Hoodlum comes in with a headshot, and they do close out another round. They managed to make it work, but it looks like EnVyUs didn't learn their lesson.
Yeah, what are they thinking there? That's just brain dead play. You've gone for the rush against pistols, and it's not worked. So you think going for the rush against rifles somehow is? I don't understand that. In any situation, jumping through a smoke, probably you should think twice about that one, Jax. Maybe don't jump through the smoke, or maybe just wait until the smoke isn't there anymore, and you give yourself a bit of an advantage. I don't like that play from EnVyUs, and they've given 2 rounds essentially for free. On the first one, it's more understandable. They're trying to change up the pace. They're trying to get in the face of EnVyUs, but the second time, really?
Yeah, what was key for me there was the fact that it looked like EnVyUs were really just trying to show their dominance, show they could do it, and Reason held strong. They fought back, and they knew exactly what they had to do. It got a little bit close, but Reason are going to be super happy with that. Obviously, Envy's still got plenty of money to work with here, so they have come up with a full buy, but it's going to give all the confidence that Reason needed to keep this going.
Yeah, and Reason essentially that they can buy themselves back into this game. We haven't seen their T side. They could be insane on T side, and we just don't know it yet. Maybe we just haven't met them yet, in the words of Mr. Bublé. Molotov's going in, pretty nice set play. EnVyUs slowing down the pace again, just trying to play their game here. Now, because they've seen the demos, because they know exactly how Cinder plays that drop zone, they're using the Molotovs perfectly. The question is Cinder going to fall for the bait? Oh. 1 kill comes in, headshot, of course. Cinder doesn't do any less. There's the spray. Can he find the kill? No. Petty Scale doubles up to find a massive opening against Reason Gaming, and suddenly, with that drop zone lost, this gets really, really sticky for Reason Gaming. 3 versus 4. Young Cray has to have some effect here. 1 comes in, spins around, looking for the second. He's trying to be really frank. It's going to be Lambert to find the kill with the AWP in hand now, as the site is given up. Just Karma and Hoodlum remain. They want to save their money for the last round. Perhaps that is the best thing they can do. But again, EnVyUs have learned. They've slowed it down. They've taken it easy. They've given themselves the round.
Yeah, Envy just did what they were used to doing, played it smart, didn't rush into it this time. They learnt their lesson. It only took 2 rounds for them to do, but they will pick up a round here, and Reason had no choice other than to save. Do you know what? The problem there was, if Cinder had managed to pick up that second kill, we would be seeing a completely different situation. He did a lot of damage onto Petite Scale, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, at least they're saving in a reasonable manner and not just standing in the open. Hopefully they're able to hold on to these weapons. Of course, an AWP in the hands of Karma could do some damage. But 10 rounds on the board for EnVyUs on that T side. Of course, Cobblestone, you can't really say T, CT sided. It really does depend on the teams. Recently, it's been a little bit more T-sided, but EnVyUs, they're not bothered what side it is. They need to come out strong on that CT side. They need to shut down quickly, and they should have this series, in my opinion, in the bag, as long as they can get that good start off. They're up 10-4 currently. If they can take 11-4, and then they take that pistol round, this could get very, very sticky for Reason Gaming.
Yeah, this is all or nothing here for Reason. They know they need to pick up this round because they can't afford to drop anything more. They've let it happen. They've started to bounce back, and it's going to be Karma to try start it off, but it isn't enough as Jax just runs in, hits him with the AK headshot, and instantly a 1-man advantage for EnVyUs. And again, it was a nice idea. Let's try go a little bit aggressive, try get the opening pick. But he was so far in the open, he had no one there to back him up or get a reply trade. So it's nothing they could do with it.
Yeah, I have to say, Jack's having a great game for headshots as far as this round is concerned. He's had a pretty influential game, finding those entry frags, making sure his team is safe to go on in. And again, EnVyUs playing it slow. No need to rush, no need to take any disadvantageous situations. Cray with the pistol, they know he's there. They know he's going to be around. All you got to do, stick a smoke down. They've got Molotovs, they've got smokes, they've got flashes, they've got nades. They don't have to worry in this situation. Cray, Molotov down. He's going to put himself a flash down, but VK is too quick. Takes him straight out of the equation. Flash comes in. Okay, we'll wait. There's no need to rush. Cinder with the shotgun in hand could do some damage, but Jax, again, too quick. Vil kill to take Hoodlum, and Thomas finds himself 1 versus 5. Last round of the half, not a great situation. If I was the coach, I'd say Thomas, don't save. Probably should go for it, but there's not a huge amount you can get from this one, unless he just wants to pad his stats.
Yeah, it looks like he's just waiting for them to rush into him. He does know it's the last round of the half, I'm pretty sure, because he's still backing away, but he does go down. Lambert makes it happen, and well, the first half is over, 11-4 to EnVyUs, and we didn't really see too much from Reason. No. Reason looked lost when the aggression came in. I said about it before, are they just playing scared of EnVyUs? Because that's exactly what they can't afford to do.
I would debate that then they're not playing scared, mostly because when we look at the last week and we see Epsilon versus Reason, they lost that first game so dominantly. I think it was 16-2. If they were playing scared, then they would go, right, guys, we just lost 16-2. This is going to be really difficult. Let's hold back and not push and not do this. They're not doing that. They didn't do that. They went into Cobble. They won the game pretty decisively.
Yeah.
So coming up against EnVyUs, really, it's been a pretty abysmal first half for them. But they can now go onto that T side. They can say, right, EnVyUs doesn't know quite as much of what we're going to do here. Let's slow it down. Let's take it easy. Hoodlum, come up with a few, clever ideas. Let's just think outside the box. If EnVyUs throws something at us, let's do this, let's do that. Hoodlum needs to think, say to his team, right, if we're not going to get the frags, let's think about it, let's do it properly, and then they can start to get the ball rolling. Once they get a few frags in, once they get a few rounds in the bag, then they can start to say, okay, we can play our game.
Yeah.
We can
start
get
to feel
into our
more
groove.
confident again. I think here for EnVyUs, they know they've got to pick up the pistol round. They've got a lot to play with. There's going to be a bit of pressure off their shoulders going into this, but again, they just can't take Reason too lightly. They definitely didn't so far on this half. But going onto the CT side, it really depends on what Reason can pull out for their terrorist side. If they've got some solid defaults in there, if they can play smart executes onto the B-bomb site and push EnVyUs back, then this is what they need to do to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's an opportunity here for Reason Gaming to get back in. But at the same time, there's that opportunity for EnVyUs to just end this. If they can take the pistol round, they can put Reason right back at the bottom of that leaderboard and just say, we're here to win. EnVyUs, they're one of those top running teams in this league. They're one of the teams that wants to win. Up with the Epsilon. They want to do a bit of damage. And if they can take this game 2-0, it's a great start for them. Of course, there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more impactful games that they're going to have to play. But this is a great start for EnVyUs. It has to be said.
Yeah, they're massively in the lead while Reason trailing. But this is Counter-Strike. Anything can truly happen across this game. We've seen bigger comebacks across the board. It's all about this first round. It's all about this pistol round. And EnVyUs in a great position. The crossfire going on, and it's all popping off. As they get demolished there. Hoodlum goes down as well. Cinder, he's come through drop. He's all on his own, but there's not too much he can do with it. He's got a Glock in his hand. He's sneaking around, but he's in a 1v5. I don't fancy his chances at all in this. And they look for it. The read will come in, and then mid-air headshot as Lambert crushes him and probably crushes the hopes of Reason.
Jeez, that was a great shot. The flying Cinder absolutely mashed against the wall as his brains fly through the air. That's an insane little shot and a great way to start off this half for EnVyUs. They're now 12 rounds. If they can convert those two, get themselves up to 13. The force is coming in for Reason, which, this is great for EnVyUs. Play with that force, take it easy. You can see that they're not going too risky. They've got 3 UMPs. As long as they get close, this will be a pretty powerful round. Here comes the push. Hadji just holding back, using that long-range advantage. It's Lambert to come in and help him out, and the French team absolutely decimating. There's nothing Reason are able to do. 2 men push out, 2 men die, as Cray will wean himself around, finds himself an opening kill. Hadji low, could find himself bit of damage as Cray moves himself forward. 8 HP on the Hadji. The rifle is what matters. Cray goes down. Nice shot from Karma. But still, 3 versus 2. There shouldn't be an opportunity here for Reason. EnVyUs, of course, they need to keep 2 players alive. Karma, Panya, 1, 2. And now, just Jax remains. UMP coming in from behind. This is a very powerful position. As he finds Karma, easy kill comes in. Now Cinder, once again, on his own. But it's a 1 versus 1. The bomb goes down. There is so much time to play with for Jax. He's been spotted. Cinder tapping away. Be careful. You're only on 15 HP. If you burn, you're dead. I'll guarantee that. The UMP could be the key, and it will. Jax just spraying down. He knows he's got the ammunition. He knows he's got the time. He just sits, he waits, and Cinder gives him the round.
Joel, that was key there, because if Cinder had got close range with that Tech 9, it could have been a completely different story. You don't want to face a Tech 9. Jax kept his distance, smoothly walked all the way around, picked it up there, but it looks so good. Karma with 3 huge kills. I actually thought Reason going to do this. They're going to turn it around, swap it out. Big pistol plays coming out, but Envy just clutched it in the last minute. Envy are probably going to be thinking, how did we even let that happen, though?
Of course, but then I suppose it goes both ways, doesn't it? Reason go, well, we had a 3v1, how we let that happen? And EnVyUs go, we had the weapons, how do we let that? At the end of the day, you've got to take the round as it comes. They won the round. They're going to be pretty happy about that. They're going to be feeling pumped. Now there's nothing to play with for Reason. It's going to be 14 rounds on the board for EnVyUs, unless something goes pretty horrifically wrong. But trying to push him with pistols is not the easiest thing on that B bomb site, especially when you're looking at Deagles. As long as EnVyUs play back, they should be fine.
Hoodlum keeping it far back with the bomb. There's the rest of his team distract towards B. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm not sure EnVyUs are going to rotate everyone over just yet. But it's worth a shot. It's worth a gamble. And Petit Skill comes in with the first one. BKL's there backing him up. And this is what it works for EnVyUs. They just come in, raining in with the SMGs, doing all the damage there. And it's only Hoodlum and Thomas left alive. And, well, there's still one CT, Hajime, on the A-bomb site, but they will be able to get the bomb down because he's rotated a little bit away. Now it gives them the information. The money's come in, which, let's be honest, Reason desperately needed. Oh, Thomas tries to pull off the Deagle one-taps, gets one, and this could be something special here if he can pull off 3 more of them. But he's got his work cut out for him as they all know exactly where he's going to be coming from. Spots out 1, but it won't happen. As EnVyUs now 14 on the board. Only 2 more needed to make it happen. But Hoodlum done his job. He got the bomb down and he got the most important thing, the money there for Reason Gaming.
Yeah, so I would say a pretty successful round there for Reason. Do a little bit of damage. Do a little bit of damage to the enemy. Take those 2 players down. Essentially, that's a win for Reason. They invest nothing into the round. They've got a couple of pistols. They get the bomb plant. That's 800 quid in the bank. They should be happy with that round. Now they can go in with the AK-47s. They can try and do a bit of damage. They have one last chance. They have one shot, one opportunity. They're going to take it, or are they going to let it slip away? That's the question.
Well, this is it. They've got the AKs. They've got the powerful weaponry in their hand. EnVyUs gone for 2 AWPs here. One on Lambert, one on Jax. Jax playing close range. He went for the aggressive peek, but the smokes and flashes are going to push him back. And now we're going to go see him sit in chicken coop, waiting for them to come into his crosshair. But Lambert started off the world, got it onto Hoodlum. And this is it. Once again, EnVyUs always, they're pretty much every round we're seeing, they get the first frag. They manage to push him back. Then they put Reason on the back foot. VKL, though, he's in a good spot. He can hear exactly what's going on. He just can't see through that smoke. He's waiting for them to jump in. Oh, with a smart play, he's going to try and come from behind. Jax finds one, though. And you can hear it all going off. Jax with a second one. Can't see the action, but it is definitely great shots coming out from Cinder and Karma, the only 2 men left alive. In a 2v5, they've got a bit of utility to work with, but they do seem to want to push this around, and what they've got to be careful of is the man with the M4 coming up from behind. Hajime's pushed out. He's gone quite deep there in A, and this is where he can catch him off guard, because if he starts to hear them rotating around, they're not going to be looking for him there. Karma's now given away his position, spammed away with that AK, and most of the CTs are now towards the A bomb site. Reason have been read so well on this. No one there distracting for him. And he can hear it, and this is exactly what I was worried about. He finds the first one onto Cinder. No, he doesn't. As they come out, huge headshots galore. Karma single-handedly just drilling it into EnVyUs. There's nothing they could do.
Yeah, Absolutely no opportunities. Karma Panya having a sick game. The bomb is going to be going down. Cinder on 1 HP, but Karma again coming in. Impact everywhere. V-Kill trying to take that monster down, but can he do it? Little flash comes over. V-Kill has to back off a little, slow down his play. Cinder on 1 HP, needs to be careful. The peek comes in. They're absolutely playing with him. Don't play with your food, guys. Come on, Karma peeks out. A little bit of damage through. The headshot comes in as Karma will fall. V-Kill! He stops for no man. 1, 2, bing bong, bang! And they're in the sight. Easy stuff for the French team. 15 rounds on the board. And although Reason Gaming looked like they were going to come in there and do a bit of damage, it just doesn't work out.
That was the most explosive round we have seen as of yet. Hajime pushed all the way down on A, looked like he was able to pick up 2 free kills, and then what happened? They turned around, Cinder pulled it off, 180'd him, finished him off, and then Karma coming in with 2 more kills, leaving it up to 1 man, and somehow, they were just dancing around him. There wasn't really a crossfire. They were poking 1 by 1. They gave him all the opportunity he needed.
Yeah, makes it look absolutely simple as V-Kill. It looked like there was nothing he could do there, but he destroys his opposition. Headshot, headshot, bang. That's all it takes. Now going into the last round, it's actually a strong goodbye here for Reason Gaming, despite the fact that they lost the last round. Cinder getting Molotovs backwards, he has to be a little bit careful. So far, hasn't had a lot of fun with the fire and the flames. But in the end, it will be coming out on top. 1 kill comes in, but again, I almost predicted that one. The flames will take him down as Lambert roasts him. Might pick him up later for a nice little meal, maybe a bit of thigh. Essentially, EnVyUs, they can do that now. Hadji finding himself a free kill. Cray will trade it back out. Thomas pushing forward. He needs to be careful. And that is not how you be careful. Lambert will take him. Luckily, Hoodlum there for the refrag. It's a 2 versus 2 still going into this last round of the game. Potentially, as V-Kill goes down this time, he won't have the opportunity. Luckily, he did find a kill before, and Jacks to close it out. Nice headshot comes in. That's all it takes. And game over. Reason, they had to win that map, Banks. They had to win that map. They haven't even put a dent into the armor of Team EnVyUs. Look how confident they are. They don't care. Easy. We do this every day.
Yeah. They don't. There's nothing they need to be hyped about there because they came in with a game plan. They executed it well, and Reason played into their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no defense whatsoever coming out from Reason Gaming there. They have an absolute meltdown. They need to go away. They need to have a chat. They need to say, right, Inferno coming up. What can we do to reset, rejig, get back into this one, play it strong? Essentially, it has to be the full reset coming in from Reason. Well, analysts know better than we do. So, Tom, if you want to take that one from me.
We know just as much as you do, guys. What a great map that was. We will get the thoughts from Thorin and SEO in just one moment. EnVyUs take that 1-0 lead into map 2. Join us in a minute. Obviously, we did. Well, I just didn't.
Yeah.
Right then, welcome back to the Elite Series. It's CSGO Day. Great competition, great way to start. Map 1 in the bag. EnVyUs, incredibly dominant. No other way to describe them, really.
Feels like we were dealing with your realm, because we're dealing with jokes here, guys. What's going on? Where's Reason? This was their map pick. They started on CT side. They won pistol round. That should be the blueprint to win a game there, and they've gotten absolutely smashed.
Yeah, I mean, where did it go wrong? I mean, there was one point Thomas had a pistol when they were... do you know what I mean? It was the wrong tactic.
Yeah, he kind of got caught out. He had the USP because he thought there'd be an eco. They forced back in, and honestly, that led to the demise. I feel like he got a bit tilted off that. Like, I definitely know I would, because he'd be like, oh, why have they forced? Why's this happened? But that's just them being confident. They know they can buy and win the round, and they did. Yeah. And they showed their dominance through that entire map.
They just weren't picking their shots off at certain points. Thomas, I know, had an AWP at one point and just didn't fire, didn't get that shot. If it had happened, it would have been a bit more confident. Maybe anything could have happened, but it really didn't.
I mean, that's an absolute win condition in a game like this. You've got to have Thomas and you've got to have Cinder both rolling. Cinder was all right at times, but I mean, when your team is playing that poorly and you're not getting any rounds, you're not going to have any impact at that point in time. And then over on the EnVyUs side, it wasn't even just one person. Like, everything worked for that team. Everywhere they went, they got entries, they could go literally anywhere on the map. And there wasn't... It got down to some 1v1s, 1v2s, etc., but in general, it never went the side of EnVyUs. Reason, rather.
Did Reason have a game plan? Because at times it really didn't look like they did.
I think they did, but I think what happened is they were just getting beaten so badly on the first half that they just abandoned the game plan. And then you had people just repeatedly peeking into the drop room and lots of plays that didn't really make a lot of sense. Like, they had that standard play, which is you can tell when someone's tilted because they will actually do an even worse move next time than what just didn't work now because they want to kind of get it all back again.
I mean, how good were EnVyUs, SEO? You know?
I mean, they were comfortably doing exactly as they should do. It was the same as watching them against EnVyUs last week, actually. They were able to just do what they wanted. They didn't have anybody like fighting back against them. Like, they could do their execute, and they didn't have to move off of that. Like, they did what they want, and there was no, repeal, I guess, the best way to put it.
We could look at the 18th round, I think. Well, actually, the 19th, sorry. It was a great moment. Talk us through what was happening.
Yeah, I think this round kind of summed up Reason's game, really. Yeah, they got it back from a 2v5 to 2v2, and it got into a 2v1, and you're thinking, oh, that's a heck of a job there. But somehow they lose a 2v1, which they can't lose.
And if you look at the positioning, if you see the player here, so they're in 2v1, they have the bomb down, and literally, because of this player's positioning, they have a crossfire. So they can literally force him to come in a position where he has to show his back to one of them, but instead they both take turns to peek, but never at the same time. There's two plays that work here. You either hide or you double peek. Both of those plays, very high chance of winning the round. They essentially gave him the only out he had to win the round there. I mean, he's at their mercy there when he's just kind of strafing out like that. So that does sum up the game, really, because even when they had the advantages, even when they were in a position to potentially do something, they threw it away, as well as the EnVyUs player was able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I mean, the next map, what can we hope for Reason? I mean, we don't have to hope for them. I'd like to see an underdog. They're 1-0 down.
Okay.
What can happen for them? Let's try.
Maybe they should be saying that.
Okay.
Maybe it was the old rope-a-dope. They were just lulling them into a false sense of security.
Muhammad Ali style, just now sitting back there.
Mate,
it happened last week. It happened last week for them. They absolutely got absolutely smashed, and then out of nowhere on a map that they didn't even choose. So
that's the problem, though. It's the map in particular. Like, with this being Inferno, with this being EnVyUs, I think this is exactly the map they want. I mean, when we were talking about the stats earlier, I think it was Jack's, right? Was the lurker? This is an ideal map to play a lurk position on. There's so many spots where people have to rotate. They can't always just go through the spawn. So I feel like, especially if EnVyUs is going to have that kind of level on the T side, everyone looks pretty loose on their team. They don't seem as though they get bothered when they lose a round. It's going to be very, very tough for the guys from Reason, especially because actually the upside of having Cobble as your pick is if in theory you'd gotten like 9-10 rounds on CT side, you've almost got the game won at that point in time. Inferno, I think, is a map where both sides are very variable. You never home clear on this map until you really do literally get up to the 15, 16 rounds.
If Reason were to go into this map Inferno, what tactics would you employ for this map? And if they are the tactics you'd go for, could they somehow have a double bluff against EnVyUs?
Maybe some sort of prayer circle.
Could they just rush them five?
Offer up one member to the gods?
Yeah, okay.
Blood pact, animal sacrifice. What else are we going with here?
So there is very little chance. So I'm going to take your predictions. It's going to be 2-0 based on that. But Herald and Banks are back ready to cast. Gentlemen, do you see an upset here? Can we see a 1-1?
Wow. Well, it's going to take something special from Reason to make it happen. But yeah, the ultimate response is a 0. 0 chance here.
I mean, yeah, we could be optimistic. We could be hopeful.
Yeah.
We could be reasonable.
Delusional.
Or we could be realistic. And
Delusional
if we're going to be
works.
realistic, no, it's going to be a 2-0 unless we do see Reason wake up. And there were signs of life in that last game. There were the odd round where Reason, they'd have some cool kills. Even Karma was having some sick rounds. And this is the thing, you know, Karma, no disrespect to him, but he isn't known for being the biggest fragger in the team. He isn't known for being that hard carry. Yet when he's having to make those plays and go large, you know something's not quite going right on the team. It's Thomas you want to be, you want to see waking up doing that. You want to see Cinder waking up doing that, doing a bit of work, getting some damage done, just getting some frags in the bank, and we didn't see that at all last game.
And that's what happened with Cinder. It's like every position he went to play in, he was getting shut down. He was trying to hold dropper, but Envy had his number every single time. Mollies went in all the time. Grenades went in all the time. And he had no counter for it. The one time he tried to boost back up, guess what happened? He lost his head instantly.
Exactly. There's a pretty good reason for that. You know, it's not just because Cinder's playing badly. At the end of the day, EnVyUs have gone, right, who played really well last week? Cinder did. We're going to have to play against him. Let's see. Okay, he did this. We'll do this.
Yeah.
He peeks all the time. Put a molly down, he can't peek. Once we're down, he has a lot more trouble dealing with the situation. We're going to be able to go for that 1-for-1 trade. Essentially, what they're doing is they're not saying we're not going to let you, play it. We're just going to deny you doing anything.
Yeah, shut him down before he can.
You can do some work, but nothing that's going to shut us down. Nothing that's going to stop us doing what we want. And essentially, that's exactly what EnVyUs do. They play their game.
Yeah.
They make Reason play their game, and there's no way through for Reason there. There was no way to pick that one up at the end of the day.
I feel really scared for Reason going into this on Inferno. Like, unless they've got some amazing game plan, it's going to be a pretty much rinse and repeat. Them trying to pick up a few rounds here, dancing around as EnVyUs control the map. And that was one thing, the communication you saw from EnVyUs gave them so much map control. Instantly calling for boosts and getting ready for what was happening. Yep. Instantly waking up and saying, okay, this isn't working. Even when they're down one man, we saw it multiple times, they quickly changed around and said, okay, let's go here. And the fakes, the Reason got caught out by so many of them.
Yeah, all the time. The thing is, EnVyUs are just playing exactly their game, and it's working. You know, a lot of the time you'll see a fake go in. You'll see a lot of fakes going around, and it won't do much. You know, the enemy team will just hold fast. They'll stay strong. You know, they might rotate a player through, but at the end of the day, they still have the sites covered.
Yeah.
If you're playing 3 versus 2, and you see a flash, you don't rotate all 3 players to A.
No.
That
common sense, right?
Really, surely. But apparently not. So going into this game, really I see EnVyUs with a massive advantage. But Reason, there's some strong players in there. There's some fraggers in there. They might be able to, put a bit of a dent into the armor and show a bit of a performance here.
We see EnVyUs starting on the CT side here, and it's going to be all about this banana control, but how deep will they go? We see it many a times where the CTs, they push a little bit too far down, they end up getting caught off guard, but already the action towards apartments. Bit of damage done. Karma stays around for too long, but he has been tagged down to 70 health already, and the positioning of Lambert, he knows exactly where to look for that. And actually, Reason, they started off really strong, rushed in there, but they couldn't find any. The CCs were too far back, and instantly they're going to have to change up what they're planning to do. But this could be good, though, because there's 4 members towards A. Only 1 CT towards B, and he's eating a headshot already. The Glocks are coming towards him. They've only got 1 decoy to work with. The rest of them have got armor in on it, and finds 1. Can he find a second? Can't, as he gets shut down, and look, straight away, instantly, he's unhappy with that. And the rest of Reason are cleaning up. Only 2 members left alive for EnVyUs. They've got their work cut out for him, but the CZ75, and what a shot. Can he make a couple more of them? He's definitely going to need it if he wants to bring his team back into this. The setup from Reason here, though, really good. They've got crossfires galore. Hoodlums found 1. They know where the second one is, but Jax can't quite make it work as Cinderlad finishes him off with a nice headshot there.
Yeah, looking dangerous, though. Very, very dangerous indeed. Now, I did have an opportunity to have a bit of a listen into the sort of thoughts and the mentality of Reason in the break. And they seemed very positive, actually. They seemed very positive indeed. They weren't all down. They weren't raging at each other. They weren't flaming. They were all pretty happy in the place where I saw them. So, essentially, there's nothing... you know how some teams will tilt and suddenly they just can't play?
Yeah.
They aren't on that level, you know. I still don't see the win coming in for Reason here, but I don't think they're going to do quite as abysmally as we may first predicted. I would say they might be able to clear about 7 rounds, maybe, if they're lucky.
Well, Cinder lads, starting off well with the season 75. EnVy, they're trying to push a little bit of aggression, get a bit of information here, and that's what's going to be key. It's just about picking up these kills, but as long as Reason hang back, don't rush into it, all guns blazing, they should be able to make something, at least push a few more rounds back. But we're seeing kind of a repeat already of what we saw on Cobblestone with Reason picking up that first pistol.
Yeah, it just really play your game, play it easy. But let's, as you say, think back to Cobblestone. After Lambert does a little bit of damage potentially here, he has got an opportunity, but the wrap's coming in, potentially going over towards B even, as they do wrap around that long side. Lambert running away, fleeing the inevitability. Actually, gonna find himself a nice little shotgun kill. That's 900 quid in his pocket, and he can walk away with that pretty happy. Bomb does go down, but this fragmented defense is interesting from EnVyUs. They have players all over the place. It's a bit like a spy network that they've got in place here. Actually, just trying to find an opportunity. Nothing is presenting itself. He's gonna... One nice kill comes through onto Cray. Luckily, Karma is in position to do some damage, but V-kill not going to give up so easily. 2 versus 3. Make that 2 versus 2 as Thomas will find one. Hoodlum can't get any work done as Jax will take him out. Now, it's all on Thomas. They know where he is, and he can't do it! V-kill takes him down, and that's the end of that. Suddenly, Reason, they're done. This is the point at which they are done.
Yeah, how are you going to allow someone to grab an AK-47, use it against you? They just got pushed out every single angle. And, well, EnVyUs, they fully deserved that round because Reason just let it slip away.
Quite a round. I may have got a little bit excited there.
Breaking the stage and
yeah,
stuff.
Just I'm quite happy I didn't plummet through the bottom. That would have been somewhat disappointing. Anyway, Reason... They get the opening kill. The force comes in from EnVyUs. They have a shotgun, and instantly, Reason take it out of the game. It's gone. There's no more shotgun. How are they looting that round against pistols? Use utility. Use what you've got. Don't... You know, you could go into this for years. Hoodlum, already dead. He's been naded down. That's a very interesting kill. As far as morale goes, that is the worst thing that can happen. Getting naded is just so annoying. Jack's going to take down Thomas as well. Just cleaning up, really. And... I said Reason Gaming, maybe they had a chance. I just can't see it. And if Reason Gaming win a round, I'm not then going to say, maybe they've still got a chance. After that round, I just can't. I can't see it happening here for Reason. I'm sorry.
No, that round spoke 1,000 words. And Lambert here just dancing around, waits for one, finds a second as well. Cinder may have got 1 kill, but he was waiting for it. He knew what was going to happen. And another round on the board for EnVyUs. Anything's possible in Counter-Strike, but Reason this time round, it's just... It looks like an exact repeat of what we saw on Cobblestone.
Well, anything's possible within Reason. Or, as the case may be, without Reason. Because we're just not seeing the performance we need. We said coming into this, it could be a close matchup. It could be a potential slugfest. It's not, really. EnVyUs, they're proving... really why they're one of the favourites in this tournament, in this series, in this season. So really, this is what we expect from them. So when we talk about EnVyUs in this, they are playing well, but this is what we need to see from them. And going up against some of the more difficult teams, they are going to have to step up their game. Reason, with a draw against Epsilon, they could already put that in the bank and say, happy days, we've got those points in the bag for later. But you know, a draw here would have been great for them.
And as we see it, Reason, they're set up quite nicely. They've got that middle control, but EnVyUs, they're sat at the back waiting for it all to happen towards them. It's all down to where Reason are going to push out here, how they're going to execute. They've got a few flashes and smokes to work with, also a couple of Molotovs, so they could molly off CT Arch side. But EnVyUs, they're playing it lovely, defensively. They're not wasting anything here, and well, Lambert goes to poke out, a little bit of damage done, but can't find the kill just yet, and they're waiting around. EnVyUs are fully prepared for this A, which worries me a little bit if Reason do decide to change what they're doing. The bomb's still down at middle, so they can pick it up, run back round. It's the waiting game as then Thomas pokes out. They know exactly where he is, and the good thing here for Reason is they've got more of the powerful weapons, but it doesn't matter as Hadri comes in with the first kill. Young Craig goes down, and it all starts to back off again. They're going 1 by 1, and this is not what you want to do. They do manage to trade it out, but it's still advantage for EnVyUs. Hoodlum goes down, and just 1 by 1, no one there backing him up. This is not how you play Counter-Strike. And this is why you see it at 3-1 already.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, this is going great so far for EnVyUs, and they're playing their game. The thing is, in that round, there was like 18 different crossfires. Wherever Reason were going, there was like 3 guys looking at them.
All over.
Hajmi would peek, and then there was someone climbing a flower pot behind him. And then they go to, you got VK and Rattlesnake, you got someone in Arch. You got people absolutely everywhere. There was nothing Reason could do there to get into the game, and it shows, that they were getting caught out everywhere. Their first buy round doesn't go very well. Now onto Pistols, just going for a quicker play. Cinder taking some good map control up towards B, gives them a bit of an opportunity if they want to get close to those pistols. But Jax just holding back, playing safe. He's got the utility to play with. He doesn't need to go anything aggressive. And he's got support as well. He's got VKill over there with him. So if they do go in for this B rush, which is somewhat predictable, especially when the map control is this far in favour of Reason, they can essentially say this is probably going to happen. They want themselves a bomb plant. They want a couple of kills. If they can get that, they'll be happy. And so all EnVyUs have to do is say, not going to happen. Jax spots out the first player. M4 comes into play. Cinder will find himself a kill, but the HP damage is good enough. Jax smoking himself out. Can't get anything done. Cinder, the first man in, last man out. He will be doing damage. Lambert trying to get in. He's going to do more damage. There is no HP on Reason. There's not even like 100 across the board right now. This is absolutely crazy. Karma playing close. At some point, he has to come out and do some damage. They have no idea. He's there. Karma finds a kill as Lambert even peeks him. But this is looking pretty controlled. 2 versus 1 now. Cinder, unless he can go absolutely ham, this should still be in the favour of Team EnVyUs. They have the weapons, they have the utility, they both have kit. All they have to do is find the kill, and there it is. Cinder can't quite pull that one off. There's plenty of time for the defuse, as Hajmi will close that one out. 4 rounds on the board. Good damage being done, especially, no investment whatsoever into that round. Reason Gaming had nothing. But
now what I want to see here from Reason is both rounds that they've got on the bomb sites, they've done some damage. It's been when they've gone towards B. Let's get some guns in our hands. Let's buy up and try B again. Let's see if we can find this is maybe the little dent in the armor of EnVyUs. Can they make it happen? They've got the AKs now. Don't try and face them at mid again.
Yeah, I mean, really, just play it safe. Reason, they need to get a bit aggressive. These slow rounds are not working at the end of the day, and especially with Lambert on that AWP. Map control is being handed to the French team avidly. They're just taking what they want. The last round, granted, they had nothing on Banana, but it was an anti-eco. You wouldn't want to be taking Banana. Nice shot comes in from Lambert, takes down Thomas. And again, this buy round is going to pop. Pettiskill will take down Cinder. Although Young Crate trying to do a little bit of damage, he's still penned in. He can't leave that position.
Young Crate rotates back round, tries to change it up, but he's looking to see if any more CTs are going to be there waiting for him, and this is not a good sign. You see Reason heads down. You said about how you spoke to him in the break and they were feeling good spirits. Well, could it already be on round number 6 that they're being pushed back down? It's all important to motivate yourself, but Karma pokes out towards Banana, eats a lot of damage from the M4 of Jax. And EnVyUs, they're playing this B so well. Not pushing too far down Banana, keeping their distance. They're comfortable to hold only 1 man there. Molly comes up, but Jax can sit comfortably behind it. And even if he can just get 1 here and he gets a bit of information, he saw 1, falls back, and that's exactly what he wants to do. Look for it, call it in, get some backup from his teammates. This is just a smart play time and time again. So well thought out as Lambert, with a great read, perfect timing, comes out with a first AWP kill. Only 2 members left alive. Jax up high, finds the first. Will he get the second? Oh, and he jumps out, but Lambert's all over him. It's like just a show for EnVyUs right now.
So the thing there is when Lambert comes up and he's coming in for that peak, what they're essentially thinking is that site might be empty. So they're thinking, okay, let's get into the site quickly. They're doing their checks, but they're not doing it properly. And that's where they get caught up, because when they've come over, they've thought, okay, no one knows we're here. Let's get in fast. Because Lambert comes in for that jump, he gets straight in, he goes to the peak, so it makes them think they're trying to go fast. They're trying to play before we can, so let's get in. It's not going to work out. Now, we've just heard there is a tactical timeout, which means we probably shouldn't say a huge amount tactically about what's going on. But at the end of the day, there's not a huge amount that EnVyUs are throwing in that's really tricky or really difficult.
Playing standard Counter-Strike, right?
Exactly.
They're playing their game. They're feeling confident with it. And you just saw it, exactly what we saw there on Banana. Jax jumping up and down, making the right call, doesn't go to push for it. He's not going for like, oh, I'm going to go pick up 3 crazy kills now, get some headshots in. He sat there, he believes that like, okay, we've got this anyway. We're not worried about Reason. And for me here, Reason calling this timeout, this is the perfect time to do it. It's not too late. This is right now where they can kind of, we saw they had their heads down, hit his hands in his face. He was just, didn't know what was going on. This is the time they can pull themselves back into it. And it's still realistic to try and stage some comeback just before the next buy round for them. But again, I want to see a full B push with a buy round. We haven't seen it yet, and that's where they've had their most success.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, we just need to see Reason go for a bit of aggression, and we could just see that. One kill comes in from Lambert. I thought that was going to be a little collateral there, but it doesn't work out. He will go down. Luckily, there's still 2 players on B. They weren't able to take advantage. And so Reason still left in the dirt. They do, on paper, have the advantage here, but with Crayon just 15 HP, I think the collateral did go through.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a kill. Yeah.
Nearly a double. That would have been huge.
Can you imagine that after a tactical pause, straight away you're 2 men down? Oh. No.
I think you would have broken the desk that time as well.
Pardon?
I think if you saw that, you would have broken the desk that time.
Oh, yeah, I would have. Yeah, I would have gone through it, mate. I'd have been on the other side, in the words of Adele. Anyway, Petty Scale just holding back, and there it is. Mortar Strike comes in. Broadsword strikes, and Petty Scale will find the kill. Hajime getting a little aggressive there as Thomas will take him down. Luckily, Petty Scale is still here and doing damage. Cinder wants to take him down, but he can't. Petty Scale with the headshot, and goodbye, Cinder. 5-1 on the board. Hoodlum, the last man alive, he will spot out 1. Petty Scale flashes him up. 4K in the bag, and he makes it look easy. Tactical timeout, yeah, go on, talk. What are you going to say? Stop getting killed? Shoot better? Not really how tactical timeouts work. That's more of a practical timeout, and I don't think we have those.
I think for Envy as well, they probably just use that to just chill out a bit, make sure they say, look, guys, let's just keep playing the game. It's all working as it stands. Let's keep just playing our game, staying comfortable, and don't get over-aggressive. That's exactly what they're doing. They're waiting every time for Reason to come towards them. And we know this CT side, it's just so strong for them. But again, here, we're seeing the Tech 9s. It looks like they're going for it towards B. And look how fast EnVyUs are trying to close them in. They're sandwiching them straight away. They're getting ready for this. And Jax is their man at the moment. Gun in hand, gets 1. VKill's backing him up. There's 2 coming out for him. And this is huge. It looks like they might not be able to do much unless Karma can come up with a couple more. Hajime comes from behind, and instantly, EnVyUs, such a read on it. Okay, eco round, they're probably going to go B again, like they have done the previous set of eco rounds. Oh, guess what? We're just going to lock them in on that banana, shut them all down, and an easy 7th round there for Envy.
Yeah, I reckon the call there was, doesn't matter what happens, don't stop. Keep going, keep going. And when you've got 3 Molotovs in your way, maybe stop. Yeah. Maybe think
that fire's a little bit dangerous, right?
Yeah.
You got to back away from that.
The thing is, what you want to do with a pistol is you want to trade that HP for a kill. So you want to go, you know, you take a little bit of damage, but you do get that 1 kill. And if you're already on 3 HP when you're going into the bomb site, it's just not going to work. And look at this, Hajime already in their face. He gets nothing from it. Hoodlum takes him down. But it's that aggression. It's the audacity to make that
confidence.
Play. Exactly. You know, when Reason see that, they go, oh, he's pushing again. He's pushing again. Someone's got to stop him. Please, guys, come on. And it doesn't work out.
Now, the one thing I want to see here from Karma is that he at least opens up, gets an entry pick here now as they do decide to push up to whichever bomb side it is. They need to rely on him to be a little bit more aggressive here because they've still got Lambert to deal with. And look, again, so aggressive on B, all by himself. He lets 1 walk past and he gets the AWP. Karma's been utilized. Straight away gone down, looking for a second, and Lambert playing it very cocky. Will he get punished for it though? 15 health left, and he's frantically running away as the flashes come in. He's got to be so careful. They're going to know roughly where he is. He's got to hit this shot. The molly comes in, forced out of position. He's dancing around. He is still alive. Gets a 2nd kill. Can he make it free? No, as Thomas comes in to shut him down. Jax though ready and waiting. Jax, got to be careful of that fire. It's all over you. Wait for it to go down. 2 members left alive for Reason Gaming. But this is a nice spot, but he still couldn't do anything with it. He had the read on it, and VKL's going to come in. Jax there, kind of out in the open, just reloading his gun. Easy kill for Cinder, but he's still got 2 more to deal with. Nearly gets it, but he can't quite work out who he wants to kill. And another round for EnVyUs, despite the early aggression, despite the supreme confidence, and Lambert stuck out in the open for so long.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. The fact that Lambert stays alive there, he is the absolute lug nut of that round. As long as he's alive, honestly, that was like Hogwarts and Voldemort, all right? As long as Dumbledore's alive, Voldemort ain't doing anything, right? He can't do anything. His spells don't work. You can't apparate and disapparate in and out of Hogwarts. Let me tell you that for nothing. All right, and that's exactly what Lambert's done there. He said, "Come on, bring it on. I might not kill you all, but I'm gonna get you all killed because I'm alive, and you have to deal with that threat." Yeah. They just can't do it. going into now the 10th round, 8-1. Reason Gaming have no response to the absolute decimation Reason Gaming are throwing at them. And there is nothing to be done. Let's see if EnVyUs can close this one out easily. The kills are raining in. Jack's V-kill just going ham. Karma will find himself one in return, but it's already a 4 versus 3. Hoodlum on no HP. And this is not looking good for the red logo.
Now, I'll be honest, I was thinking, okay, EnVyUs getting a little bit cockier these last couple of rounds. If they continue to do so, maybe that's what Reason can capitalize on. But it's still not even possible. Once again, the just pure aim and skill of EnVyUs is just far above them. Cinder comes out, sprays out one, actually gets a second onto, well, it's his teammate that gets Lambert, so they're there backing it up. But they will be able to push into this B bomb site once again. It's where they've had the most success. Only Petite Scale and Hajjim left alive. But can they make this work here? Well, not if Young Cray sits in that spot. Great positioning, got the instant headshot there. And now it's a 1 versus 3. EnVyUs, they did get confident that round. They have been punished for it. But Reason, you've got to give all credit to them. They pushed through absolutely everything that Reason threw at them at Banana.
Yeah, nice calculated game, and now it comes down to Hajmi to try and find his way back in. Spray down comes in, it's nice. He was expecting Hoodlum to go for the peak, but no need. Hoodlum plays it safe. He will take a few pot shots. Bomb is too far ticked at this point. As long as Hoodlum goes down, I think Hajmi should be happy. I mean, the money should be pretty strong for EnVyUs. Yeah, it's reasonable. You've got a better skill on 16k. He can drop his teammates. There shouldn't be any problems there. Essentially, one round, it's not enough for Reason Gaming. If they lose the next round, it's game over, dude. Yeah. GG Brian D.
The money game is too strong for EnVyUs, despite being on that CT side. It's not really going to affect him. You actually do see Hajjimi opt for, he bought a Mag 7, then he gets dropped at M4, so a little bit of miscommunication that we were praising them for on Cobblestone. But still, EnVyUs, they're not going to be phased by this. Allow Reason to have a round, and then come and completely reset their economy. Give them no way back into this when we're already on round number 11 of the first half here on Inferno.
Yeah, need to play it quick again. I mean, the faster pace has worked out for Reason, but you can't really say anything's worked out for Reason, considering that they're 6 rounds down still. Thomas getting aggressive here, but he can't find the kill. The support comes in. Thomas, what are you doing, man? Come on. Actually, finding the good damage through. Thomas on 6 HP. He's got to fall back. He's got to get out of there. And Lambert comes in, takes Cray's head clean off. I'd love to have seen that shot. It looked pretty sick. But at the end of the day, this is just not going well for Reason. They've already got a man down. Thomas has 6 HP, couldn't convert that into the kill. And really, that was a key play. Flashing through on mid. If he takes that kill, he takes so much aggression. Even if it's traded, it doesn't matter. But now, it's just gone down again. Reason, they may even lose. Probably will lose this round. And if they do, that's it.
Well, Lambert was so backed up there. Hajjimi just behind him, waits for it, picks up just a little bit of damage, forces him back, and now Thomas on 6 health didn't even get a kill for it as well. This is exactly how you want to be playing that top of middle, because once again, you're forcing EnVyUs to be, this time round though, they've got 2 members in the B bomb site. The first molly goes down, they burn Thomas to a crisp. He doesn't even try and move away from it. Maybe he thought he was out of the area of it, but that was not going to be good enough. And you've instantly put yourselves at another disadvantage, but Hoodlum comes in with the AK shot, finds one, but it's not going to be anything else as VKL comes in with the Supreme spray, finds 2, only Karma left alive. He does have an AWP, 10 seconds on the board though. He just wants to save it. He is running far away. He doesn't want to have to deal with any more of EnVyUs because their money is going to be so bad.
Yeah, this is worst case scenario really for Reason. At least they saved the orb. It's just not good at all, is it? And what can you say? They're going in, they're just getting demolished. The skill gap is becoming prevalent. I don't know what to suggest. Take it slow, I'd like to see some trades coming in. That'd be nice. That'd be nice to see some teamwork coming through. When we do see the teamwork, things go well. But at the moment, we're seeing individual play. But the thing is, normally when you say we're seeing individual play, what you mean is we're seeing like some star player going off. We're seeing individual play badly. And that is, never ever going to work. VKL just taking a bit of an aggressive peek, taking some of that banana control. Once that Molotov's gone, he will be moving on down to the bottom. They have 2 smokes to play with. Petty Scale! Cinder, come on! You've got a free kill, just take it. All you got to do is click. And it's not going to work out. Hajjimi finds the kill. I'm sorry, Petty Scale finds the kill, falls back, lets Hajjimi do the rest of the work. And
did you see how quick that was? That even confused us. Instantly EnVyUs, moving around positions, trading out. They knew he had low health, but Karma does have the gun for his team, gets the kill onto Jax, and now this is where they're going to explode. Is it going to be B? Yes, it is. They're running around, but VKL Oh, he's in such a good spot. He's not going to be checked, but as soon as he fires, Young Kray's on top of him, and this is looking really good for Reason. They might be able to push this back, and actually, EnVyUs might struggle a little bit for money if this happens. With the misbuy, with obviously being on that stronger CT side, they have had to buy into it a few rounds. They've been losing members every single time, and I love this from Reason. Don't rush into it. Wait around. See if you can catch EnVyUs pushing out, being super aggressive here. This is actually the smartest play we've seen from Reason. Use the number advantage to your best way you can. Get yourself in that bomb site, and it's only Petty Scale left alive. He's only got 44 health in there. His two other teammates are miles away. They're all the way at B. He does find one, but this is going to give him a chance to hold this bomb site securely and wait for Envy to rotate round.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for Reason to try and get themselves at least stop EnVyUs getting onto double figures. There's not a huge amount to be done here. It is going to be the save coming in from EnVyUs. The money isn't huge on EnVyUs. It isn't some unlimited stream of money. They have won a lot of rounds, but they haven't been building up a huge amount of bank. It doesn't really matter when you're winning the rounds, but they do need to have that in the pocket. So they are going to save onto the AWP, onto the AK. They should be able to get a pretty decent buy into next round. But 3 rounds coming in for Reason Gaming. So keeping themselves on top, well, not on top, but keeping themselves at least without too much pressure on their back, so that they can go into that second half, go onto that CT side where they do have the advantage of side, try and play their game a little bit more. But right now, Reason Gaming are getting ripped apart. Finally, they take themselves a couple of rounds. They had the 1 round at the very beginning of the game. The second round, 2 rounds ago. Maybe they're closing that gap. Maybe they're starting to figure out what's going on. Go a bit quicker, work as a team, get a few trade frags. You'd think that was pretty simple, basic stuff, but at least they've got it now.
Yeah, they're starting to piece a few rounds together. It's on 9-3. If they can pick up the next 3 rounds here, especially with EnVyUs' money situation not looking so good, this would be the best situation ever for Reason. Probably one they didn't actually think that they could achieve. But I would never count EnVyUs out. And straight away, look, Lambert with that saved AWP, getting boosted up, scoping out Banana, and instantly they've got the full control. That's all going to be between him and Karma. If Karma looks up Banana, Lambert's going to be ready and waiting for him. And it's all down to the mistakes that Reason can make here. I like the fact that Reason aren't massively pushing into it. They've not gone super fast here. Because look at the setup from EnVyUs. Look where Petite Scale is with the Zeus of all weapons.
Yeah, this could be very demoralizing. Cinder is one of those players that needs to stay on top of his mindset. He needs to stay on top of the mentality. If he pushes into Petty Scale here, it will be devastating. Thomas does find a nice kill onto kill. Here it comes. This could be so dangerous. Oh! Cinder takes him down. Hashmi will find one back onto Young Kray. Turns around, but he can't find any more. And it's a pretty nice cleanup from Reason Gaming, taking advantage of the situation they had, playing it slow, playing it easy, playing together, and they find themselves a 4th round into this, potentially doing pretty well. Really, they need 9-6 to be happy with this half, and I still wouldn't be happy. But if EnVyUs can even take a round, take it onto 10, go onto that T side, win the pistol, they're back in. They have no problems. As far as mentality goes on the side of EnVyUs, they're not too phased by this. They've lost 2 rounds in a row. Fair enough. Well done, Reason. Now get the buy back on, get the money back alive. This is not the greatest buy in the world.
Yeah, an interesting force, but we know how powerful the UMPs can be across the CT side here, so let's see what they can make happen against all the AKs of Reason. The thing that Reason have got going for them here is the confidence of these last few rounds. They have pulled it off. They've made it look like, okay, we can make this achievable. This is a winnable game. And this is where EnVyUs just have to make sure they play the smart play. Don't keep going aggressive. Hold back.
Do you know what was great about that play from Reason is that baits out so much utility from those B players on Team EnVyUs. They've got nothing left. VKill and Number literally have nothing. They have a flash each, and that's all been baited out so effectively over on that B bomb site. Molotovs, everything is gone. So now, going into that retake, if that becomes a situation, EnVyUs will have nothing to go in with it. Now they have got themselves a chance, but they have to find the frags. This is the key. It always has been the key. Find the frags, and the rest will come. Karma goes down, nice boost, comes in. Hashmi taking liberties. 1, 2, Lambert finds the 3rd, and now it's a 4 versus 3 situation. This is going great. Hoodlum comes in with 1, Cinder finds the 2nd, and a 2 versus 2 potentially. There is still a chance here. This is very 50-50. The bomb out of the control of Reason Gaming. They have to recover that, and they will. Cinder going to be picking that one up, crawling away. Those 2 players back onto that A bomb site. Hoodlum needs to be careful. If he goes down, that leaves his teammate 1 versus 2. And very carefully, Hoodlum is going to get a bit of information there, but he also gives up a lot of information. He says this play could potentially be going back towards that B bomb site. Otherwise, I wouldn't be trying to wrap around. I wouldn't be trying to play it clever with you.
Yeah, this is really smart from Reason, though. They've fallen back. They've kept the information flowing. They know exactly what's happening. And actually, they're pushing EnVyUs just to run into them now. Bomb is down on that B bomb site, and Cinder going aggressive. Gets the first kill. Nicely done. Easy shot for him. Can he pick up the second here? He's moved away. VKL's going to have heard that. But is he going to be able to push into? Is he going to be able to clutch out? He does have a defuse kit. It is a winnable situation. None of them have any utility to work with, and he would have heard that. This will be interesting. He's going to look straight onto it. He's got to check every angle, gets the first kill, goes hunting for the second, but Hoodlum's waiting all the way back at Banana, and the bomb is ticking way too fast. That's going to be another round for Reason, and they're starting to make it happen.
And you know, that's exactly what I said at the beginning of the round. They bait out that utility very, very early on, and Reason are able to play off the back of that. They get themselves into a 2 versus 2 situation, and they know we've baited out all your utility. You have nothing to play with. You have nothing to go up against us with. And so they just play the frags. They play it really nicely. And they know there's no flashes coming. They know there's none of that coming because it's already been used. And so going into the last round, a very weak buy coming out of EnVyUs, and 9-6 half looking reasonable. I'm still not happy to give this game to Reason just yet. But it's looking stronger. It's looking better.
Oh, Reason are fighting back with everything they've got. These last few rounds have been so much better. But EnVyUs, they haven't got the money. They haven't managed their economy well. Once again, a couple of Mag 7s, a couple of UMPs, 1-5-7. Jack's very aggressive. They're hidden away in the smoke, but they do catch him. He will go down the hands of Hoodlum, and instantly a one-man advantage as VKL's back there with nothing to work with once again. You said it last round, but every time Reason are pushing up, they're making them spend it all, and this is what Reason should have been doing rounds ago.
Yeah, absolutely utility game, winning. This is Inferno. Utility is so key, especially on that CT side. They're playing the game and they're doing pretty well out of it. Get themselves onto 9-6. Could be worse, but at least it's no double figures. Karma opens even further into the round, taking down V-Kill. Now just Petty Scale, Lambert and Hajmi remain. Up close is Lambert. Can find himself the opening one. Can't find the second. Hoodlum, very well played. Finds the trade. Instant. Don't let Hajmi go for that superstar performance. Don't let him get rolling. Don't let him get fragging. At least we can see the game on his screen. Better than nothing, I suppose. 4 versus 2 now. Coming into this retake, it's just not going to work whatsoever. Jumping with the Mag 10, or the Mag 7 even. Come on, guys. Let's be real. Hajmi will find one. As the headshot comes in, doing a little bit more damage, but it's last round. They don't care about damage, they don't care about money. They just need to win the round. So it goes down, and it's not going to happen. Thomas will dispatch Hajmi. And a very nice end of the half coming out of Reason. I still don't see this being their game, but going on to that CT side, if they can get a good start, this is 9-6. 9-6 is all to play for on Inferno.
Yeah, this has really opened up for Reason. It was looking so devastating for them. EnVyUs got a little bit aggressive. They just felt so comfortable on the map. And Reason were able to take that back, get around on the board. And actually, when it came to it, EnVyUs' economy was not there. They didn't have that opportunity to mess around. They messed it up, they gave it away, and they pretty much allowed Reason back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great performance coming out from Reason. They take advantage of the situation. They know they're getting these kills. They're getting these kills. Keep putting the pressure on that economy. Keep putting the pressure on the economy. And eventually, when they are able to break it, then they're going to be able to play their game. And so that's what they do. Reason, they know they've only got this or this or this. So they play very, very specifically, going for that B rush. And this is what I was saying when I said Reason. I feel like Hoodlum said, just go, keep going, don't stop. And while it doesn't work in that round, they do get the kills. They keep the pressure on the economy. They don't allow EnVyUs to keep rolling and absolutely steamrolling. You know, I don't know if you ever played Command & Conquer, but you know how you'd have you could set the enemy to be a certain game style, rush or whatever.
Just to keep going at you over and over again.
They are disallowing the steamroller game mode. That's what they're doing, and it works perfectly. But into the pistol round now.
Well, EnVyUs here on the pistol round. Their T side has to be really solid now. They know they need to pick up this pistol round, which they haven't had the best of luck in so far. But it's going to be important here to not allow Reason to even it up. Because Reason, they've come back into this with extreme confidence, even when they were down. And if Reason could pull off a tie here, that would be insane. But it looks like it's going to be happening towards the A-bomb site. Young Craig flashed up in the site, trying to make it work. But EnVyUs jumping around with the Glocks. Absolutely supreme play as the headshots come in. Only 3 members left alive for Reason. They're all having to fall back, waiting for that rotate, though. Thomas playing it smart. He's not pushing in yet. But again, no kits and no utility whatsoever for Reason to work with, meaning they need to play this fast. They need to get in there, and that's a good start as Thomas finds the headshot onto Jax. He's waiting around. Cinder coming through mid, but oh, he's getting shot in the back. He doesn't know which way to turn. He's backed up by a teammate, but Petite Scale, headshots galore with the Glock. And it's only Thomas left alive, and he's even wanted to save the armor. He's going to hold on to everything he can. He said, oh God, okay, this is looking bad. Yeah. Hold on to everything I can now. Take it through to the next round because everything's going to count this.
Yeah, absolutely. Holding on to the armor could be strong into the next round. 9-6, this opens it up massively now for EnVyUs. They're going to take that 10th round. If they can then convert those rounds, they're on the T side now. They pretty much have 2 rounds that they can take at this point. There should be 2 rounds that are, as we say, free, in quotation marks, for them to take. But Reason, they've been playing well. I'm not going to count that as free just yet because I think there is still the possibility that they do a little bit of damage. But at this point, I would say this game is up in the air, leaning in favour of EnVyUs, but up in the air all the same.
Yeah, if we get a good force out of Reason, then they'll be able to pull their way back into it. Now, we do have a technical pause just for a little bit, so we have to wait around for them to solve this, but it gives us more time to focus on what Reason can do. I was actually going to suggest that when's the next time that Reason decide to call a pause, because they came back after that pause. Okay, they lost the following round, but they brought themselves back into this game. How much is it going to take this time round? How many more rounds are they going to allow EnVyUs to have before they do the same? Because it definitely worked last time.
Yeah, absolutely. Say they lose the next 2 rounds and it goes to, what would that be? I don't know if you've realised this. I'm not the greatest at maths. I'm going to call it
13-6.
12.
13-6.
I think it would be 12.
We had 11.
We were on 9. They put 1-1. They got 2 more. That's 12. Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. There you go. See, look, you're confusing my maths now.
I've got apples and limes. I'm putting the apples into the other basket. That's how I work things out in my head. Anyway, they're going to be up in 12 rounds potentially. Reason then are very far behind. They have to get 6 rounds just to equal the enemy. And CT side, if you can get rolling, if you can get moving, get the utility in hand, then it's possible. It's not unreasonable, but this is a tough position for them to go to. This is first game of the day. They've had to wake up to warm up. Essentially, Reason Gaming, they need to get back in now. They need to get back in now. They are going for the force buy, which in this occasion, a lot of the time I'm not a fan. In this occasion, I really like it. I think put some pressure on EnVyUs. It's what they've been doing the whole time. EnVyUs are not reading this very well at all. 3 Tech 9s, 2 Mac 10s. There's 4 head armors on Reason. This is, I don't want to say it too loud, but this is a bad read. Ooh. Oh, the suspense is killing me.
Yeah, the wait for that round. But the interesting thing overall about this buy here is that obviously Team EnVyUs have massively underestimated what Reason are going to do. Now we do see the action happen off, and actually Cinderlad has gone down. We didn't see where or how, but it was at the hands of Hajri. And Thomas has been pushed out, but he finds one, does the best he can with that UMP, but even still, Jack's coming in there, gets it done. Hoodlum can't make anything work with that 5-7. And then, okay, interesting enough, VK will just shoot his teammate in the back of the head. Let's give Reason an advantage, yeah.
Well, no, keep him on his toes. Make sure I reckon he said something like, oh, why aren't you pushing? He goes,
do your job.
Do your job. Don't talk to me. Yeah, take 2 steps back.
Bullying teammates to get your results.
Exactly. And it works. The round goes in favour. Really, this should not. There were 3 players on that B bomb site. We didn't see exactly how it played out, but there were 3 players on B. The rush comes in. You expect that to be absolute bloodbath city. That should not be
5-7's a UMP there as well. Yep. Reason should have been able to comfortably handle that, but
no. Well, you win some, you lose some, as they say. A little laugh coming out of the coach over on the EnVyUs side. They seem pretty confident. They seem pretty happy about this one. They're going to essentially keep 4 players alive. They have no right to have 4 players alive right now. They have no right whatsoever.
Well, that is going to bring us to 11-6. EnVyUs as well. Just, as you said, we're looking at their faces. They feel comfortable. They're looking happy. They don't seem too worried. And it was key in that round for Reason to continue applying the pressure to make sure that EnVyUs didn't just roll back into this game and close it out now. They need to make sure to say, look, we're still here. We're still fighting with everything we've got. But now we see Reason. They've got a few pistols. Hardly any, only 2 players with armor. They've not got a lot to work with. And we've even now got AKs up on the EnVyUs side.
Yeah, not a force by coming in this time. Cray, of course, keeping hold of that armor. That's about it. Petty Scale going to be going aggressive here. A very, very quick 2K comes in. VK and Petty Scale both together, taking those 2 players down. Don't even need to see him. Just burn them alive.
Cinder loves the flames, right? He's just sitting
Tinder.
in there.
More like Tinder.
Yeah.
Ooh, got him. Lambert, nice kill there onto Hoodlum. Just cleaning up now as those two last players on B. They're hunted. They have nowhere they can go. Thomas and Gray are in trouble. They do find himself a kill. Thomas going to be opening up onto Hajmeet, but VKL straight in for the trade. And poor little Cray, he's all on his own now. 1 versus 4. Let's see if the stream will be strong. 1 kill comes in. VKL goes down. But there's still 3 more players to find, and they're hunting him like a wild dog. And it's going to go down. Lambert to find the final blow as Cray will fall.
And now you can see the pressure being put onto Reason. They know it's getting close to that dangerous number. Currently sat at 12-6. And Reason, they will buy up into this. Thomas with the AWP, not Karma this time round. M4's going to be brought up across the rest of the side, but EnVyUs. Is Jax really going to stick with that Mac 10? Wow. He believes that he can do some damage with that Mac 10. He believes he can rack up the money.
To be fair, it's a utility weapon. He's going to be using it as a scout weapon, get in their face, see what he can do. Last cannon Thomas could be very dangerous here.
Oh!
VKL takes him down or out. Look, Reason, you got to wake up. Look at Thomas. He's disappointed with that. He's very disappointed with that indeed. It could be potentially 13 rounds on the board there. Nothing whatsoever coming from that AWP. It's a waste of 5 grand. It's a waste of a player. It's a waste of a round at the end of the day.
And this is where Reason start to crumble. You can see it. We saw exactly the same on Cobble. They had that resurgence in the first half. Now in the second half, they're 12-6. They've got to do a hell of a lot of work to even have a chance of bringing themselves back into this.
Yeah, and this is, we're going back to the last game now. We're seeing those rotates come in so heavy.
Yeah.
There were 3 players on B. You don't know it's going B. You have no reason to say it's going B right now. Get out of there.
It's got to be communication.
It's got to be poor communication, if nothing else. At the end of the day, Reason are just struggling very hard. Of course, still 4 versus 5. Nice tag did go through onto Pettiskel, so he's 16 HP. There's potential there. VKL faking over towards this B bomb site. Probably going to prompt a rotate, and yeah, that's exactly what it does. Luckily, the smoke's come in. Hoodlum could have been in a very difficult position there if he hadn't rotated back. Pettiskel going to be the first man in, goes straight down. Why wasn't Pettiskel holding the Mac 10? Tell me that. Hoodlum finds himself 1 and 2. Now there it is. He comes in. The crossfire appears. What? Jax, the man with the utility weapon, the man we said probably shouldn't have that. He's just wrecked them all, hasn't he? He's just come in and said, yeah, actually, I'm just going to kill you. That's what I'm going to do.
I wanted the money and the kills. I believed I can do it. And now they fall in. 1 by 1, they go down. A 13th round here for EnVyUs. And even with that Mac 10, even with the questionable buy, the pure skill of EnVyUs is just too much for Reason to handle.
Yeah, that's not a great round whatsoever from Reason. They do find those kills at the end, but it doesn't matter. They lose the round. It's now 13-6. Not only are Team EnVyUs double the score of Reason Gaming, but they've also got a point on top of that. They're up on 13. They could be looking to get onto 14 now because there is nothing to play with for Reason. And after that, there's 2 rounds left. You have 2 rounds with which to pull this back, Reason Gaming. You have no buffer zone. Your money's pretty weak. You're on that CT side. I don't know what the solution is, Banks.
No, I don't have an answer for him. I'm thinking it might be time for another timeout just to try and see if there's anything they can do to pull their way back into this. But it's going to be going 14-6 next. So I would have called the timeout now to say, look, okay, let's see what we can do going into the next buy round, because you're just watching Reason 1 by 1 push out with no backup, and their heads are flying. Everyone that round just pushed out on their own, and they're just giving easy frags away to EnVyUs.
Yeah, same mistakes, different day. I don't actually think they have a pause. I think you have 1 5-minute pause, not a 15-minute pause, 1 5-minute pause. That was my mistake.
So you're not getting multiple pauses. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's nothing they can do this time round. So it's all in control of EnVyUs. They now pick up the 14th round. Only 2 more for them to pull off here. And Reason, what is the answer?
Yeah, I don't know. Banks, I really don't.
Well, we've got double AWP set up here, so maybe they think that can do something. But on a map like Inferno, it can work. But what we've seen from Thomas is he hasn't been hitting them shots. He's been missing some of the easier shots. He hasn't been able to hold Banana. This time around, we're going to see him go towards mid. Where's Karma heading to as well? So Karma down at B, and you've got 3 towards B, 2 towards A. They've got to close in EnVyUs here and get these early picks, allow them no control.
Yeah, something needs to change up here for Reason Gaming. You can hear, I don't know if you guys can hear at home, EnVyUs are really loud right now. They're calling every single thing out. Effective, concise, consistent. That's how communication should be. Hoodlum having to fall back. He's got Cinder to play with. There's 3 players on Banana. This could get very dangerous. VKL gets aggressive. He'll be traded out. Hashmi can't do anything. The head is spotted there by Hoodlum, but he can't quite get the kill off. As Petty Scale now falls back. 3 versus 4. It's going to be the A-bomb site under contention. Jax finds one, and that opens it up. Cray goes down, and now this A-bomb site is so weak. Thomas has to do damage. He finds the tag off onto Jax. That is not going to be enough. 17 HP. He can still shoot you. He can still do damage. Thomas, come on, do something, please. Thomas, nice! There it is. The headshot comes in, and Thomas finds the kill. Now in a 2 versus 3. Opportunity is back and open. This gives Reason Gaming one last shot into this game. This is their last opportunity to play, if they can play. Lambert finding one. There it is. The kill comes in. Looking for Thomas. He can't quite find the flick. Tamaxin comes out. He's using the Tech 9, but he can't. And it's a 1 versus 1. Petty Scale finds the first kill. Looking for the second. Hoodlum, 5 HP to play with. He has to find this kill. He has to get the defuse, and he can't. The headshot comes in. And EnVyUs on match point.
Thomas tried so hard. He was pivotal in making that even possible, but it just wasn't enough. They rushed into that site. They didn't have too much health to work with. There was nothing they could do. As EnVyUs, they were ducking around the boxes, and still, the money here now for Reason, not ideal. The last round of this map, it's literally looking the same as Cobble.
Yeah, no answer whatsoever coming out from Reason Gaming. They've tried so hard. When you try your best, but you don't succeed, give up and try again. Hajmi just trying to get up, get in their face, do a bit of damage. Opening kill comes in, looking for the second. Can't quite find it, but the damage is effective. Molotov's going to follow, and there is very little answer coming out of Reason Gaming. Match point on the board for EnVyUs, and looking to close.
Looking to close in a stylish way as well. EnVyUs still holding on to that B control, waiting for any of the CTs to push out. And this is the key difference between EnVyUs and Reason. Both teams played that heavy aggression on the B banana, but they couldn't make it work for Reason. Reason just have no, every time the mollies come up, they're forced out of position, they're not able to fire back, they don't have the money to invest in firing back every round. And this allows EnVyUs, again, that full control. It's just the smarter plays, the better reads.
And Thomas literally twiddling his thumbs, nothing to do but hope his team can pull this one off. 4 versus 4. It's looking like the A-bomb site, maybe just a fake, as the bomb sits over towards Banana. This is interesting. I don't know quite what it is they're going for here, but splitting up, going for both sides at the same time, now moving back towards that B-bomb site. There's only one player. Whatever they're doing, it's worked. They've pulled Cinder away. He's only on 19 HP anyway, but the execute coming onto this B-bomb site looks calculated. They have everything they need. They have the AWP, the AKs. This is dangerous for Reason Gaming. The opening kill goes the way of VKL, pushing through the smoke. Cinder, 1, 2, 3, getting rid of the 4. He can't quite, and Lambert now in a 1 versus 2. He has to win this for his team if he wants to win this game. Young Cray and Hoodlum, you cannot lose this. You cannot make a mistake here. It is too close. You cannot make this mistake.
Cinder gave him a chance back into his 4 kills up for him. Couldn't make it the ace. Lambert's there, gets 1, but Hoodlum's all over him. And Reason Gaming, they live to fight another day.
Just about in this one. EnVyUs on 15 rounds. That was too close for comfort. Thank God that 2 versus 1. I mean, if they lose that, they are walking away from that stage with their heads low. And I wouldn't want to be them at that point. Luckily, they keep themselves in this. They keep 2 players alive. That's... sorry, not even that. They keep 1 player alive. So, I mean, they're not saving any money into this. They haven't got the greatest buy. I mean, they've got...
It could be worse.
It could be worse. They've got 4 rifles. Fair enough. UMP, it can work. Despite the recent nerf, it can make it work. Lambert wanted to get aggressive there. They're not going to allow him. Thomas needs to be a little bit careful. Peeking that angle could get dangerous. Double Molotov goes in, denying EnVyUs any aggression here. Nice nade, doing a little bit of damage. Not a huge amount, but a little bit across the board. Just saying, hey, we're here. Be careful. Don't attack.
And now Envy pushing towards the A-bomb site. Jax coming through apartments. Are they going to be ready for him? Reason have got themselves in a good position, but they're still... They've got to make sure they check out every single angle here because Envy are going to be looking directly at them. And unlike the setup we saw from Envy, they don't have that third man for the crossfire. Oh, Lambert in a great position up high, gets the first kill, makes it look easy as well. And once again, it's the communication, it's the boosts from EnVyUs. Thomas has got to hit the shots and he makes the first one. Can he get a second? He's looking for VK, misses it, not ideal. And he does get finished off there. Only 2 members left alive for Reason Gaming, and this could be all she wrote. Karma and Cinder, the only men left alive. Cinder was so huge last time round, and he's all alone now, but it's not gonna happen. They made that look easy. And when EnVyUs come to play, they put in and bring the pain.
Yes, despite some absolutely sick rounds coming in from both teams, some clutches, some 1v1s, at the end of the day, it just doesn't work out. The better team wins. And essentially, you know, good teams, the better team, if you're going to grind it out, if you're going to trade rounds like that, the better team will win. And in this situation, EnVyUs, they are the better team. They've won the game. They've made it look pretty easy. Any last thoughts, Max?
Max points now for EnVyUs. Reason, they couldn't even make it a tie this time round. It wasn't good enough. They were looking almost like they could make a comeback in some way to Inferno, but it wasn't possible. But we'll put it back to Tom and the guys on the desk.
Thank you very much, Harold and Banks. Lovely Coldplay lyrics used as well. Thoroughly enjoyed those. There you go. EnVyUs 2-0 victors against Reason. What we're going to do is we're going to have a quick little break, come back, and then we'll get all the analysis from the protagonists. That's you, lads. No wave, no smile. There you go. See you in a second.